It's time for Wolverine football, presented by State Senator Jay Costa on the Woodland Hills Football Network and the Trib Live High School Sports Network. Wolverine football is also brought to you by the Triangle Bar and Grill, Patrick T. Lanigan Funeral Home, LGAR Health and Rehabilitation Center, the law offices of Owen Seaman, Bush Brothers Car Care, the Barbers Inn in Swissvale, LG3 Entertainment, Web Landings, A-Boss Opticians, Matthews Auto Service, and DeZubin Dental Associates. Now it's time for the Woodland Hills Football Network pregame show.
Upper St. Clair defeated the Wolverines 16-14.
It's a Wolverine Friday here in Imperial, Pennsylvania. Eric Schuley along with partner Rick McIntyre as the Wolverines get ready for this conference contest against the West Allegheny Indians. Woodland Hills coming into tonight with their first win against Baldwin at the Wolverina, 12-0, while the West Allegheny Indians 3-1 on the year overall and in conference, also 3-1, coming off a big 29-12 win at Upper St. Clair. We're going to step away for 1 minute, and we'll be right back with more. You're tuned into the Wolverines and the Indians on the Trib Live High School Sports Network and the Woodland Hills Football Network, presented by State Senator Jay Costa.
State Senator Jay Costa is proud to represent Pennsylvania's 43rd District since 1996 and is happy to support the Woodland Hills football team. If you have an issue concerning state government, contact one of Senator Costa's 3 local offices. Senator Costa's offices offer a variety of services for constituents. You can reach Senator Costa's Forest Hills office at 412-241-6690 or log on to senatorcosta.com. The Triangle Bar and Grill in Swissvale is a proud sponsor of the Wolverines and has been serving the Woodland Hills community for nearly 3/4 of a century. The Triangle, located on Monongahela Avenue, is the home of the Battleship, the sandwich that made Swissvale famous. Plus, the Triangle has a full menu of specialty sandwiches you're gonna love. Call the Triangle at 412-271-9885 to place your order now. Patrick T. Lanigan Funeral Home, with locations in East Pittsburgh and Turtle Creek, is a member of the Hall of Excellence of the National Funeral Directors Association. This reflects the same pursuit of excellence by our Woodland Hills football team, cheerleaders, marching band, students, staff, and faculty. For over 110 years, Patrick T. Lanigan Funeral Home has been honored to serve local families and to be a proud partner of the Woodland Hills communities.
Life has its ups and downs. There are times when you or a loved one needs help. That's why you should know the name LGAR, Health and Rehabilitation Center. Located just minutes from the Monroeville Mall, the LGAR Health and Rehabilitation Center has been known by locals for many years, and they excel in reputation, rehabilitation, recuperation, and residential living. The help and answers you need are just a phone call away at 412-825-9000. Also on the web at lgar.org. LGAR Health and Rehabilitation Center, a name you should know and a name you can trust.
Woodland Hills football is brought to you in part by the law offices of Owen Seaman. Owen is a Woodland Hills alumnus who studied law at Duquesne University and has been practicing law in the Pittsburgh area for over 15 years. Attorney Owen Seaman's experience encompasses virtually every facet of criminal defense. If you find yourself in need of criminal defense representation, call Owen at 412-721-0412 or visit owenthelawyer.com. There are a few things that guys like more than a great haircut at a real barbershop. And at the Barbers Inn on Washington Avenue in Swissvale, you'll find both. Plus, you can relax in style on supple leather sofas while watching their big screen HD TV. You can even shoot some pool while you wait. But most importantly, you'll walk out the door with a haircut or shave that you're sure to love. Walk-ins are always welcome at the Barbers Inn. For more information, call 412-271-7434. And remember, real men come to the Barbers Inn.
LG3 Entertainment is a first-class disc jockey and karaoke entertainment company that serves the Pittsburgh and surrounding areas. They offer a wide range of music entertainment for weddings, anniversaries, school dances, corporate events, and more. They also offer beautiful chair cover linen rentals to give your event the elegance it deserves. They offer many more services, so go to their website today and see why so many choose LG3 Entertainment for the best in family fun entertainment. Whether you need a new website or want to improve your existing site, Web Landings can serve your needs. Web Landings provides professional, easy-to-maintain websites for businesses, organizations, and individuals. Discover more at weblandings.com and find out how editing your site can be as easy as using a word processor. Plus, we offer 1 year of free hosting for any website developed. Visit weblandings.com today.
You're tuned in to Wolverine Football, presented by State Senator Jay Costa on the Woodland Hills Football Network.
Back here at West Allegheny, Woodland Hills taking on the Indians tonight in this big Allegheny 8 conference matchup. Again, West Allegheny coming off a win at Upper St. Clair, 29-12, and the Wolverines getting their first victory last week, 12-0, and a great defensive effort by the Wolverines over the Baldwin Highlanders. Rick McIntyre with me tonight on the color. And after that defensive effort last week, Rick, Wolverines have something to really, really be confident about going into this game. This huge matchup if they want to get to the playoffs.
Yeah, I think a lot of coaches will agree that first win seems to be the hardest sometimes. Once you get that under your belt, it's something positive to build on. Certainly something they needed to build on coming into this game against a very tough West Allegheny team. I mean, they're always tough. I don't think this year is any exception. The keys for me tonight is going to be minimalizing all the mental errors and the penalties. Because a team like this, you can't give them that kind of a crack. You know, they're going to be a tough opponent to begin with. The more you hand them, the further behind you're going to fall.
Absolutely. As Rick said, Coach Bob Palco always has his Indians ready, and the Wolverines are going to have to be ready for that. On the other hand, especially on the offensive side where they have had struggles this year moving the ball and putting it into the end zone. So hopefully tonight they can do enough, and the defense can play as well as they've been playing and keep it up and get a huge victory tonight for the Wolverines.
Absolutely, and I think that key's going to be coming out and coming out strong right out of the box at the beginning of this game. This is not a team that you want to get down, 17-0 to like I think I saw a couple weeks ago that they jumped out right away on somebody. This is a very difficult team to claw and scratch your way back with.
We're going to take it down to the field as the kickoff is just moments away now here in Imperial, Pennsylvania. Looks like the Wolverines will kick off to start this game. Indians did win the toss, and they want the ball first. So we'll see Chucky Hanchett and the special teams come out, and we'll see that great defense for the Wolverines get started here tonight and hopefully get a big 3-and-out on the Indians. Again, the Indians 3-1 overall. They opted not to play a first game. They wanted that scrimmage at the beginning of the year, so they only have 4 games so far, while the Wolverines have 5. As they started the year against Woodrow Wilson with the Whippeal versus Everyone showcase.
See, Hanchett's out there with the LC Greenwood style shoes this week.
That's right. They stand out. That's
they
for
sure.
sure.
Do.
For West Allegheny to start this football game, number 13 is Jerron Baldwin, along with number 6, Dante Flatte.
Looks like we're ready for kickoff here. Chucky Hanchett set with his special teams men to kick off.
Charles Hashlet to kick off.
And we're underway here at West Allegheny. The kick's going to drop. It's going to be picked up by West Allegheny, a little beyond the 10, and gets out to about the 24, 25-yard line. I believe that was Nico Flatty for the Indians on the return.
Pretty solid kick by Hanchett. Put it kind of in a nice little soft spot back there. Looked like a little game of husband and wife back there like you see in a tennis match. But, when I played, especially in college, we considered the 30-yard line the win or lose on special teams on the kickoff. Offense, you want to get out past the 30. Defense, you want to pin them behind the 30. So Woodland Hills coming out with at least a positive kickoff. Going to make them march down a long field and see what the defense can do. 1st
and 10 for the Indians. That was Dante Flatty on the return. 1st and 10. Man in motion. The give to the left. He breaks a couple tackles there, does Flatty. but the Wolverines are able to take him down after the initial hit that he broke. Out to about the 31 there on the run.
Yeah, they kind of run that. This is the kind of offense you don't see very often. It's a difficult offense to prepare for as a defense every week. Because you're only doing it once a week. A lot of cutbacks, a lot of misdirections, and the defense kind of floated that first fake. Had a nice hole there. He I think if that kid hits the hole a little bit faster, he could have been really gone. Fortunately for the Woodland Hills, he didn't quite see the crack.
West Allegheny in the shotgun here. The Wildcat, actually. Taken by Mateo Vandamia. Straight up the middle on the Wildcat. Not much doing there for Mateo.
It looked like Kalen Brevard and DeJuan Howes came up and filled that hole pretty nicely. Nice read on the play. Came in, made a nice solid hit, stood him up, and wouldn't let him get away.
Vandamia, a big player for the Indians. He has been for several years now, a senior. He likes to run that Wildcat. Palka likes to put him in there as he is a big, powerful runner for West Allegheny. And the shotgun here on a 3rd and 4 now for West Allegheny at their own about 32-yard line. 4 wide receivers. Takes the snap, goes straight up the middle, and he's able to get the first down for the Indians is Cam Cruz.
Really nice play call there by Palco. 3rd and 4, it's kind of in that flux area where they have the running game to get there. They definitely have the passing game to get there. They make, they do the play action, or, make it look like pass. Nice little draw. What that does is it obviously stretches the field. You can see the linebackers kind of, that first step didn't go forward like it normally does on a running play. It gives them just enough room to get to the sticks.
Wolverines looking pass there. As Rick said, spread out the defense. Able to go up straight up the middle as Cruz for first down. 1st and 10. West Allegheny give straight up the middle. And that's going to be Nico Flatty, and he's going to get big yardage over the right side for the Indians, all the way deep into Wolverine territory to about the 26-yard line, 27-yard line.
I think it's just a case of the offensive line doing a really nice job there. They just collapsed that whole left side of the Woodland Hills defense. Really wasn't much for him to contend with until he got to the second level.
Another first down for West Allegheny. Now at the Wolverine 27-yard line on that big run by Nico Flatty, the 5'10 sophomore for the Indians. Cam Cruz now under center. Single back. Fake handoff goes the other way. Almost picked off by the Wolverines. Very, very close to being an interception for Woodland Hills there, but not quite. As Cam Cruz tried to rush that throw, Rick, and it almost ended disastrously for the Indians.
Yeah, I was kind of looking at the backside of the play there. Number 9, the wide out for West A. John Rink kind of came in on almost like a crackback block on the backside there. I don't know if maybe there was a miscommunication there because he looks like he's rolling out left, doesn't see anything. I'll tell you, if he hadn't turned back, I think the official's throwing the flag over here. I think him turning back the other side drew the attention away.
Would have been a huge play by Taylon Brooks, but it's nice that he was able to knock it away. Move to 2nd and 10 now for the Indians at the 27. Give straight up the middle. Looks like Dante Flatty there for the Indians. Big run of about 8 yards. Takes it down to the 19-yard line of the Wolverines.
Yeah, they just kind of loaded up behind Logan Rossi there, the 6'2", 275-pound senior for West Allegheny. And this offensive line in red is rather large. I mean, we noticed as they came over to the sideline, there's some big boys on that front.
3rd and a few here for the Indians. Now inside the red zone. Looked like the Wolverines were offside there. Looked like Michael Roman possibly coming on the blitz. Got a little too eager there and gives the Indians a free first down, which, as you talked about, Rick, they cannot do tonight.
No, they're going to get enough of those on their own. You can't be handing them to them, especially a 3rd down right there. You make a nice stop. You hold them to a field goal attempt, which, in high school is the stats are never that great. I think holding them to a field goal after those couple big plays would have been a big win for this defense. Now you get them a new set of sticks.
Ball now at the 14 again here in West Allegheny in Imperial, Pennsylvania. Sorry for some technical difficulties, but now we are live on Trib Live, High School Sports Network. Cam Cruz in the shotgun. Sends a man in motion. Ian McBain. Give up the middle. Good chunk of yardage there for the Indians, now inside the 10-yard line of the Wolverines.
And once again, I mean, you can see this big offensive line just moving bodies. Look at that. Nothing there. This Woodland Hills defense has got to start using their speed. I think we have a little bit of a quickness and speed advantage to counteract some of their size advantage.
Ball now at the 8. It's a second and about 4. Cruz under center. Man in motion. And it looks like the Wolverines jumped into the neutral zone. Will be another penalty on Woodland Hills.
I thought I saw number 60, Dwan Howes, moving a little bit. I could have been wrong on that.
10 free, excuse me. That moves the ball inside the 5-yard line, and 10 free yards now on the drive that the Wolverines have given up. And that's resulted in 2 separate first downs for the Indians. Now inside the 5-yard line are the Indians on a 1st and goal at the 4. With 8:30 remaining in the first quarter. Give to Dante Flatty. He is hit hard by Michael Roman as he tries to go straight up the middle on that first down play. And the big linebacker for the Wolverines, Mike Roman, not letting him go anywhere there, Rick.
Yeah, it's just another highlight reel for that young man, number 1, Michael Roman. Seems like every week, you know, game after game, he comes up and makes plays like this. Really aggressive kid. Looks like a very smart football player. You know, always seems to have a nose for where that ball is going to end up being. Gets himself into the hole nicely, makes a really, really strong, big tackle.
Gain of about 1 there for Flatty. Now back into the Wildcat. This time it's Flatty, not Vandamia, and he's going to fall short of the end zone right at about the 1-yard line as he looked like he had the hole. But Wolverine was able to trip him up. Possibly Christopher Jones. I think if we get a second look at it, we can see who that was for the Wolverines. I made that big stop to put him in a 3rd.
Yeah, he made a
Anthony
nice
Meredith,
read there
maybe?
from that. Yeah, that was Meredith. He made a really nice read from that backside backer. Came all the way across the grain and filled the hole nicely. Just got just enough of him to keep him from getting into the end zone.
3rd and goal at the 1-yard line now for the Indians. Wolverines had a huge defensive stand against Baldwin last week. See if they can do it again. Play clock down to 3. They're going to give it up the middle, and he's not going to have anywhere to go. He's going to lose yardage there. Does Nico Flatty for the Indians, and now it's going to be a 4th and goal from about the 2-yard line.
Yes, let's see what Palco dials up here. Does he take the field goal, or does he have the confidence in this offensive line that he thinks they can punch it in there from the 2-yard line, just ahead of it?
It's about the 2-yard line. Big play by Sidney Summers there, the star senior linebacker for the Wolverines. And it looks like Palco will go for it. We know he likes to roll the dice as he did against Bethel Park, that overtime game that they won by going for 2. And it looks like we're going to have a timeout by West Allegheny here. And we will step away for a second. You're tuned into the Wolverines and the Indians on the Woodland Hills Football Network and the Trib Live High School Sports Network, presented by State Senator Jay Costa.
State Senator Jay Costa is proud to represent Pennsylvania's 43rd District since 1996 and is happy to support the Woodland Hills football team. If you have an issue concerning state government, contact one of Senator Costa's 3 local offices. Senator Costa's offices offer a variety of services for constituents. You can reach Senator Costa's Forest Hills office at 412-241-6690 or log on to senatorcosta.com.
You're tuned in to Wolverine Football, presented by State Senator Jay Costa on the Woodland Hills Football Network.
Back here at West Allegheny, 6 minutes and 33 seconds remaining in the first quarter, as West Allegheny has been able to drive the ball all the way down the field, but now stuck in a 4th and goal situation at the 2-yard line as the Wolverine defense has come up big. Hopefully they can do it again. Man in motion for the Indians. Snap, Cam Cruz takes it right, nowhere to go. Looking. He's going to have to throw it up deep back into the end zone, and he has a man, and it's a touchdown for the Indians. I don't know what happened for Woodland Hills there. They were able to string him out, and looked like 3 men were wide open in the back of the end zone for the Indians, and a big touchdown grab results in a 6-0 lead for West Allegheny.
Yeah, you can see as he breaks here and it starts rolling out right, Woodland Hills secondary has everybody accounted for. Everybody's covered. He's looking, he doesn't see anybody, but you see these guys out there, they turn, they head upfield like they're supposed to. The Wolverines bite on the run and abandon their coverage and leave literally 4 guys wide open in the end zone.
And the extra point is up and good for the Indians. So with your score, West Allegheny 7, Woodland Hills nothing. We're going to go take another break. You're tuned into the Wolverines and the Indians on the Trib Live High School Sports Network and the Woodland Hills Football Network, presented by State Senator Jay Costa.
The Triangle Bar and Grill in Swissvale is a proud sponsor of the Wolverines and has been serving the Woodland Hills community for nearly 3/4 of a century. The Triangle, located on Monongahela Avenue, is the home of the Battleship, the sandwich that made Swissvale famous. Plus, the Triangle has a full menu of specialty sandwiches you're gonna love. Call the Triangle at 412-271-9885 to place your order now.
You're tuned in to Wolverine Football, presented by State Senator Jay Costa on the Woodland Hills Football Network.
Back at West Allegheny, Woodland Hills gives up a big touchdown for West Allegheny on the opening drive as Cam Cruz rolled out to his right, didn't have much available until right at the last second. A little broken coverage for the Wolverines as he threw it up into the back of the end zone. And West Allegheny coming down with the big catch there as they take the 7-0 lead, like John Rink for West Allegheny. And, oh, well, tough break for the Wolverines there. Does it look like a squib kick? Looking at the replay, did not see. It's going to be a false start there on West Allegheny, and that's going to be a really tough break for the Wolverines.
Yeah, looked like Roman was off to the races there.
Yeah, like I said, it was checking out the replay, so we didn't get to see that beginning of that kickoff. But ultimately, it pushes the Indians back 5 yards, and they will have to kick again from the 35. Onside kick attempt. Taiwan Milton not able to pick it up, and West Allegheny looks like they might have it.
There's jerseys of every color pointing both ways.
Oh, Taiwan Milton came up with the ball for the Wolverines. You're right, Rick. They were pointing both ways, and in the end, the Wolverines come up with it. That's how Bob Paco, like we talked about, he likes to roll the dice, take chances like that. And this time, it didn't end in his favor. It ends for the Wolverines' favor. They get the ball right at midfield. Great starting field position.
Boy, that was an inch away from going the other way.
It absolutely was.
I mean, that's a pretty gutsy call there to even show his hand and then go back to it anyway.
Wolverines come out in a shotgun here, 1st and 10 from midfield. Gavin Judson, the quarterback, takes the snap. Pump fake to Mike Coleman. He is sacked. Number 50 for the West Allegheny Indians, Shea Downing there on the sack, and that's not the way the Wolverines want to start on an 8-yard loss.
No, that's a tough start for your offensive line there. Oh. Yeah, they run a little bit of a game on the outside there. Kind of spreads out the backside protection, shoots the gap, really came in kind of untouched.
Looked like Judson was a little tentative trying to throw that ball to Coleman. This time, 2nd down, give to Meredith up the middle on the inside handoff. Nowhere to go, a gain of about 1.5 there. And the Wolverines will have a 3rd and long. That looks like there's going to be a personal foul on the Wolverines, too. Again, not staying disciplined.
No, we're just going to stack them up. That's going to bring up 3rd and about 105. See what happened there.
Wolverines cannot give up free yardage to the Indians, as we stressed before the game started and during the game. And a 15-yard penalty there on the Wolverines pushes them way back after great starting field position. Now back at their own 28.
To the Wolverine 28-yard line.
Yep, there it was.
22 yards now back from where they started. So a third and about 32 now for the Wolverines. Judson in the shotgun. Clark and Meredith. His backs. Clark takes the handoff. Nowhere to go. He's hitting the backfield. Big loss and a big tackle for West Allegheny's man, Mateo Vandemia.
That looks like about negative 30 yards.
Sounds about right.
25 yards we lost.
25, correct.
Yeah.
Back at the 25-yard line, started at the 50.
That's not going to look on the stat sheet going into the midway through the first quarter here.
Chucky Hanchett in punt formation for the Wolverines. Low snap, but able to corral it. Get it off for a nice end-over-end kick. Fair catch called by the West Allegheny Indians' Drayvon Baldwin. And that will start West Allegheny up with pretty decent field position at their own 40-yard line here.
Yeah, not a bad punt there by Chucky. Good job catching a low snap. Didn't quite flip the field, but keeps him on the other side of the 50. You know, he was backed up pretty deep there. So not a bad job by Chucky there, getting as much as he could out of it.
Player of the game for the Wolverines last week against Baldwin at the Wolverina was Chucky Hanchett. Did a great job handling all those snaps, those low snaps, high snaps, all kinds of snaps in that crazy wet weather that came in the second half. West Allegheny now starts 1st and 10 from their own 40, again in the Wildcat. Taking it straight up the middle, and the Wolverines just getting blocked, and just great blocking by West Allegheny there. Just a great run by Dante Flatty deep into Wolverines territory. They're doing what the Wolverines can do with their speed, Rick.
Well, I mean, it's not even the speed. It's they are just completely collapsing. You know, whichever side of the ball they want, what side of the center they want to run, they're just collapsing completely that whole side. They got two blockers out there in front to catch anybody from the second level, and then it's back on secondary.
Big first down for West Allegheny now inside the Wolverines' 25-yard line, knocking on the door of the red zone. Man in motion, gives it to him on the jet sweep, little pitch, and he's going to take it.
Holding.
There's going to be a flag on the play. Looks like it's going to be holding on the Indians there, right in that area.
Takes a handoff, but there is a flag.
Couldn't quite get that number there.
Yeah, it's tough to see.
Certainly is.
I saw it as it happened.
I think it might have been Kyle Merritt.
One of the guys from the backfield came out, was making a really nice block. Just got, you know, as any good block, you're holding just about every time, but he let it get out away from his body, right in front of the official. Official made the right call.
Wolverines hopefully can take advantage of that.
It's just off camera. There he is, right there.
There's the holding.
Yep, just got that hand a little bit outside on the breastplate of the pad.
Looks like Kyle Guilfoyle for West Allegheny on the hold.
Hey, you mentioned that weather last week. I was unavoidably detained and couldn't make it. I was not real upset about not being on the sideline for that one.
Yeah, that would have been rough. So West Allegheny now on a 1st and 14 after the 10-yard penalty. Man in motion. Under center is Cruz. In the play action. Over the top, a little bit too high there for his intended receiver, which was number 17, Kyle Guilfoyle, who was guilty of the hold. There almost had a big catch for the Indians, but on that little bootleg.
Yeah, he didn't quite get his feet set, kind of threw awkwardly with it off his back foot. When you do that, it tends to float the ball a little bit high, doesn't get it down enough to give his receiver, you know, a good chance of getting that and make, you know, catching the ball and have some open field to work with. I think he probably would have made that probably down to the 15 or 10 if he catches that.
4:06 remaining in the first quarter as West Allegheny threatening again on the Wolverines. In the shotgun is Cruz. Back to pass. Looking at the screen pass. Wolverines read it pretty well, but he's able to break the first tackle and take him down. Taken down over by the Wolverines sideline.
It was Dante Flatty again.
Correct.
I could not get the number on the tackle. Looks like Meredith comes up, puts a little bit of pressure. Still gets a nice ball off. Missed tackle there.
The initial tackle missed by Taylon Brooks there. He read that screen well, but he was unable to wrap him up. But Flatty wasn't able to get too much after that, and now it's going to be a 3rd and long for the Indians.
Yeah, pretty good job by their Wolverines defense to recover and everybody flow to the ball.
3rd and 13 for West Allegheny. Trips to the left. Back is Cruz. Over the middle on a post pattern. A little too high there for his intended receiver. Looked like Kyle Guilfoyle again. Cam Cruz just a little bit high on a couple passes, which could have been 2 big completions for West Allegheny now on a 4th and long. And I would think they might just try and go for this. I'm not sure what their field goal situation is like and how confident they are in the kicker.
That's quite a kick for a high school team.
It certainly is. We've seen West Allegheny do it before, though.
And but is your window as dirty as mine is? Because I think that's why I can't read any numbers.
This is tough.
This is worse than like my work truck windshield.
Here we go on a 4th and 13 now for West Allegheny. Man in motion for the Indians. Cruz back to pass. And again, it's too high over the head of Guilfoyle on a very similar pattern that he ran on route on the last play. But this time, it's going to end in a turnover on downs. And the Wolverines will get the ball back right around where they punted from last time.
Looked like somebody got some nice pressure there for Wolverines and just made them. Is that Caleb Brevard again? Somebody just pushed their man straight up into the pocket. Got a little bit of pressure on the quarterback. I think that affected that throw enough that they didn't capitalize.
1st down and 10. Quarterback change is Rodney Stubbs now in under center. Give up the middle. About 2 yards there for the Wolverines.
Yeah, I'm not sure. I can't figure out what Coach Boster's doing with this quarterback swap. I mean, they didn't really give the starter really any kind of time to get a rhythm. You know, I mean, he dropped back for one pass, and he gets pressured immediately and sacked, and then there's a number of penalties, and running game didn't go anywhere. I think you got to give him at least another series.
Again, give up the middle. Anthony Meredith again, powering his way to a big 1st down for the Wolverines, their 1st of the night. And back to what you said, Rick, I agree. You're now 6th game into the season, and you're still having a little bit of a quarterback controversy. And
I don't know if I call it a controversy, but it's obviously he wants to rotate him in and out, but you got to let one kid get a little bit of a rhythm and a little bit of a flow in the game, I think, before you bail on him.
Right, you want to let him get settled a little bit before you pull him. But 1st down nonetheless. Again, same play, straight up the middle for the Wolverines. Nothing doing that time. No gain for Anthony Meredith on the give from Rodney Stubbs.
Right. I just cannot make out a single number in those red jerseys. The black lettering, I think, on the red makes it difficult.
It is tough out here to be able to tell some of these numbers with the wrinkled jerseys too, as they ride up on the young men.
Wow, that's a lot better when I look through the open part of the window, but not much.
2nd down. Roll out for Rodney Stubbs. Not much doing. He's going to try and go up to Josh Rawlings, but that's going to be too high. Believe it or not, it was too high for Josh Rawlings, and you're not going to see that too often with 6'6" receiver. But that one was a little too high as he was getting pressured on the rollout.
Yeah, I'd like to see that ball maybe hit the sideline or go out of bounds, you know, in an area where only Rawlings can get to it. I think you got a little bit lucky there. That ball didn't float a little bit lighter and have a little more hang time. That was kind of thrown into some pretty heavy coverage and really could have been a devastating turnover at this point.
3rd and 10 now for the Wolverines. Still under center is Rodney Stubbs. Twins to the left. Give up the middle. Nowhere to go. Stacked up is Anthony Meredith yet again on a 3rd and 10. Curious call there.
Yeah, they needed to call that flag. They blew the whistle an hour ago, and those kids kept driving and finally slammed them down to the ground.
Flag does come in.
So that'll be a free 1st down for Woodland Hills.
Personal foul in West Allegheny. Big break for the Wolverines there, as they will march it off.
Yeah, this is always a very physical team out here, and this is them just letting that mentality get the best of them. Right there, the whistle's blown, and you see 3 more kids come up, and they eventually slam them to the ground 10 seconds after the whistle.
Yeah, you gotta once you hear that whistle, gotta stop, and didn't look like he was down but the whistle did blow. 4th and short now, and they're going to go for it. The Wolverines. Did not result in a first down for the Wolverines. Whistles.
Timeout.
Timeout by Coach Bostard for the Wolverines as they want to talk this one over. And we will step away for a moment. It's West Allegheny 7, Woodland Hills nothing, with 1:29 remaining in the first quarter. You're tuned in to the Wolverines and the Indians on the Trib Live High School Sports Network and the Woodland Hills Football Network, presented by State Senator Jay Costa.
We'd like to inform you that the gates to the stadium during the varsity football games.
The Triangle Bar and Grill in Swissvale is a proud sponsor of the Wolverines and has been serving the Woodland Hills community for nearly 3/4 of a century. The Triangle, located on Monongahela Avenue, is the home of the Battleship, the sandwich that made Swissvale famous. Plus, the Triangle has a full menu of specialty sandwiches you're gonna love. Call the Triangle at 412-271-9885 to place your order now.
You're tuned in to Wolverine Football, presented by State Senator Jay Costa on the Woodland Hills Football Network.
Back at West Allegheny, after the timeout, the Wolverines bring the punt unit out. Coach Bosser does not want to be aggressive here in that situation. Great snap, but unfortunately it's going to be a penalty, pre-snap penalty, a false start, looks like on the Wolverines.
You may have said more than you meant to there, Eric, when you commented on the good snap.
Exactly.
It's not something we've seen consecutively, I think, all year. So let's see if he can get 2 out in a row here, put him in his hands and give him a chance to get this ball downfield.
A little early movement there by the Wolverines. Another good snap there. Little habit. Not the best punt off by Chucky Hancher, but he gets a great roll. That one's going to keep going inside the 25, now inside the 20. Keeps going.
The end stat doesn't ask how, just how many.
Exactly. That ends up. Looks like he's going to spot it right about the 18-yard line.
Yeah, very good result in that punt. I think he may have been taken off guard by having that snap hit him in the hands. It might not be getting, he's getting used to having to dance for the ball.
Exactly. Used to playing it on a bounce. This time gets it clean. Beautiful night tonight here in Imperial, Pennsylvania. 64 degrees outside, clear sky. A little bit of humidity, low winds. As West Allegheny will take over now. 1st and 10 from their own 18. Man in motion for the Indians. Give straight up the middle. Big hole there. Closes pretty quickly for the Wolverines as he's able to get about 5 yards-ish. Is Flatty.
I think Meredith had him a few yards deeper and didn't quite wrap him up. Makes a nice play here to get up into the hole. Makes a second, third read to get up. Just drops his head enough that he loses sight. It's got another one of those just little mental errors.
Got to wrap up.
Got to wrap up, and you can't drop the head. The minute you drop the head, you lose the man.
That a gain of 4 there for Dante Flatty. 2nd and 6 now for the Indians. Give straight up the middle, nowhere to go. The Wolverines were ready for that one, coming straight up the middle. Sydney Summers among DeJuan Howes also for the Wolverines.
Yeah, DeJuan Howes makes a great individual effort here. He pretty much drives his man into the backfield, sheds a block, driving him, sees the ball. Really nice play. And then the little Brady Macho Man body slam.
Howes used to that position. He has been starting for the Wolverines since his freshman year. He's been a force on that line, now a junior for the Wolverines. And we're now on a 3rd and 7 on the loss of 1. Hard count. Whistles there. Looks like it's going to be the end of the first quarter. So at the end of 1, it's the West Allegheny Indians 7 and the Woodland Hills Wolverines nothing. You're tuned into the Wolverines and the Indians on the Trib Live High School Sports Network and the Woodland Hills Football Network, presented by State Senator Jay Costa.
Serving the Turtle Creek Valley and neighboring Woodland Hills communities for over 110 years, Patrick T. Lanigan Funeral Home now offers crematory services at their Turtle Creek location. Families choosing cremation can have added peace of mind knowing that their loved one never leaves the care of Patrick T. Lanigan Funeral Home and that their crematory is used exclusively for the families they serve.
You're tuned in to Wolverine Football, presented by State Senator Jay Costa on the Woodland Hills Football Network.
Back here in Imperial, Pennsylvania, end of that first quarter, sneaking up on me there. Now the second quarter will begin. The Indians and the Wolverines here tonight in this big Allegheny 8 conference matchup as the Wolverines look to get another win on their road to the playoffs, hopefully.
It's a long road ahead of them right now. Down 7-0 to a really tough West Allegheny team. I think the fortunate thing here is that they came out of that first quarter with a lot of mental mistakes and a lot of stupid penalties, only down 7-0. I think this easily could have been a 14-0 or worse situation. They made some nice defensive plays, some nice stops to keep this game within reach.
Absolutely, the Wolverines are fortunate to only be down 7-0 right now. Defense looking for a big stop, though, as the Indians still have the ball deep in their own territory on a 3rd and 7. Little pause here. And here we go. Play clock starts. Cruz in the shotgun. Takes a snap, immediately rolls to his right. Looking toward the sideline, and the Baldwin is there. Makes the catch, and a first down for West Allegheny.
That's a really tough throw to make for a young high school kid. On the run, it's a timing pattern. That ball's basically in the air before that receiver makes that final cut. Perfectly thrown, really nice route run. That's if you can run that effectively in high school, there's not too many teams that are going to stop it.
You're right, Rick. Just a fantastic pass and catch there by the Indians, and results in a first down. Cruz in the shotgun again. Now ball at their own 35. Little pitch there on the jet sweep. And very good 6-yard gain there for West Allegheny, as it looked like for the Indians, Kyle Merritt again.
Yeah, the defense here, they read the play nicely. You can see here that right side wasn't full. They just can't shed the blocks. Every time I watch the replay, it looks like there's 30 red jerseys out there.
Bunch formation to the right here on a 2nd and about 4 for the Indians. Man in motion. And he is going to be wide open along the right sideline, but this time he's going to go to Van Damia across the middle. And another first down for West Allegheny.
Nearly another really bad penalty there. Jeffrey Williams on the coverage. Makes the tackle. Looked like he was going to take him down out of bounds, kind of let the jersey go, I think, at the last minute. But again, just another really nice ball there by West Allegheny quarterback. Nice route run. I mean, when you can run, again, hit these kind of patterns and run with that kind of discipline, there's not many defenses out there going to keep it from happening. 1st
and 10, back to the Wildcat is West Allegheny, and Flatty taken down quickly there by Caleb Brevard for the Wolverines, one of the sure tacklers for Woodland Hills.
Yeah, Caleb's off to another pretty solid season here. I know we said his name a lot last year. Certainly see him making a lot of nice plays like this year. Nice job there to get in the backfield, make the read, get him wrapped up. Got taken for a little bit of a ride there, but keeps him from breaking that ball down the middle of the field.
Short 1-yard gain there for Flatty on the Wildcat. 2nd and 9, sends Flatty in motion. Single coverage with Michael Coleman out there. And a great grab there by West Allegheny on that very hard throw.
That should have been a flag.
Michael Roman coming in there late. Looked like a little bit of possible helmet-to-helmet contact.
It looked like an attempted homicide. It was definitely an attempt at a helmet-to-helmet. I don't know if he got it or not. I love the aggression, young Roman, but this is not the time or place. Just, again, a fantastic catch here. Not the best throw. He turns all the way around. The ball's behind him and up. Yeah, that's a bad move there by number 1.
Fortunately, the Wolverines not get caught on that. Now a 3rd and about 3 for West Allegheny. Under center is Cruz. Going to give it straight up the middle. wrapped up by, looked like DeJuan Howes there. He's going to be short.
Oh, DeJuan Howes just grabbed him like he was grabbing groceries. Took him to the house, man.
Very nice tackle by Howes.
That did not look like a fun position to end up for that running back.
4th and short now, and West Allegheny hurries to the line. Looks like Cam Cruz might take a QB sneak, and he's going to get it as he gets across the 30-yard line. And good call by Palco. Noticed the Wolverines defense wasn't really ready, and he took advantage of that.
Yeah, that's a good move there by Coach Palco.
It was in that 4th down territory. Pretty certain they were going to go for that, but to be able to go up, get that quick snap, catch the Wolverines defense off guard, that's what you have to do. And they've watched their film, they've done their studying, and they know that the Wolverines are susceptible to that.
Yeah, that's exactly what that was. That's a product of film study and seeing something weak in the Wolverines defense and with their setup.
1st and 10 now.
Knowing ahead of time that, hey, if we come up with a 4th and short situation, I think if we run a real quick one, we're going to get it.
Cruz in the shotgun. Give to Flatty. Little counter. To about the 27-yard line there.
Meredith looked like come up, make a little bit of a shoestring tackle to keep him from gaining any more.
Wolverines seeing a heavy dosage of Dante Flatty. Usually the Indians like to mix it up with their running backs, but tonight it's been primarily Dante Flatty for the Indians, the senior.
Yeah, I was expecting to see about 5 or 6 other guys touch the ball by now, but I guess if it ain't broke, don't fix it. They're going with it tonight.
Approaching 8 minutes left in the 2nd quarter. Cruz rolling out, finds his man. A nice grab there by Kyle Merritt.
Equally nice tackle by Jeffrey Williams, a junior there.
Jeffrey Williams indeed on the tackle for the Wolverines, keeping him short of the 1st down marker by a few yards. It'll put the Indians in a 3rd and about 3 here, as he was getting pressured by Sidney Summers, but Summers was just a couple steps behind him, not able to take him down. Cruz was able to get the pass off, and he's been on the mark after those couple overthrows, leading the Indians down the field here. They've been mixing it up very well, which is keeping the Wolverines on their heels.
Yeah, that's going to, those series of pass plays they've run here is going to open up the run. The running game, again, reopens up the passing game, so Woodland Hills has got to make some serious adjustments here and figure out some kind of a scheme that they can come up with to get some penetration.
Timeout on the field by the Indians. They want to talk things over going into this 3rd down situation. With 7:16 remaining in the 2nd quarter, it's the West Allegheny Indians 7, the Woodland Hills Wolverines nothing. You're tuned into the Wolverines and the Indians on the Trib Live High School Sports Network and the Woodland Hills Football Network, presented by State Senator Jay Costa.
Life has its ups and downs. There are times when you or a loved one needs help. That's why you should know the name LGAR, Health and Rehabilitation Center. Located just minutes from the Monroeville Mall, the LGAR Health and Rehabilitation Center has been known by locals for many years, and they excel in reputation, rehabilitation, recuperation, and residential living. The help and answers you need are just a phone call away at 412-825-9000. Also on the web at lgar.org. LGAR Health and Rehabilitation Center, a name you should know and a name you can trust.
You're tuned in to Wolverine Football, presented by State Senator Jay Costa on the Woodland Hills Football Network.
Lovely night here in Imperial, Pennsylvania, as the Wolverines take on the Indians. 3rd and a long 2. Looks more like it might be 3, but 2 or 3 yards. Regardless, the Wolverines defense needs to get a big stop here and force the Indians to make a decision. Looked like some early movement there on the Wildcat, but Dante Flatty hit hard there. I believe that was Sidney Summers.
No, it looked like Meredith once again.
Anthony Meredith, yep. Thank you, Rick, for the correction there.
Yeah, he just shoots a gap. Nobody touches him.
On that Wildcat play, indeed it was Anthony Meredith who made a great tackle
really
there
nice
for the
read
Wolverines.
from the backside linebacker look.
Now sets the Indians back a yard. Now they will have a 4th and 3. We know Bob Palco is going to go for it. No doubt, as Cam Cruz. We're in the call, and now the play clock down to about 5 seconds. They're going to have to hurry and rush this to get this snap off. 3, and it's going to be another timeout. That will be the last one for the Indians as they were getting close. They did not want that delay game. So again, with 6:31 remaining until halftime, it's West Allegheny 7, Woodland Hills nothing. You're tuned into the Wolverines and the Indians on the Trib Live High School Sports Network and the Woodland Hills Football Network, presented by State Senator Jay Costa.
Bush Brothers Car Care Center in Swissvale has been a Monongahela Avenue institution for over 30 years. Bush Brothers is a full-service mechanic and tire shop for all types of vehicles. Whether you need mechanical work, an alignment, state inspection and emissions testing, new tires, or just an oil change, Bush Brothers is the place for you. Bush Brothers Car Care Center, Monongahela Avenue in Swissvale, or give Martin and Jason a call at 412-351-5342.
You're tuned in to Wolverine Football, presented by State Senator Jay Costa on the Woodland Hills Football Network.
After a huge tackle by Wolverines linebacker and running back Anthony Meredith, West Allegheny now in a 4th and a long 3. Could call it 4, you might as well. Sends a man in motion here on the Wildcat. Give and a pass, and that's going to be pulled in by West Allegheny, and a big first down. A little trickery there, and it ends in another key first down on a 4th down situation for West Allegheny.
You know, the little trickery there, but it wasn't necessary. I mean, that hits so fast that there's essentially no difference there between the quarterback taking 2 steps right and throwing it, you know, I don't think the misdirection had anything to do with that route being open. He was fairly well covered. It was just an excellent ball put right on the spot.
1st and 10 for the Indians. More of the Wildcat. Flatty hesitates, takes it straight up the middle, getting carried by a lineman, able to get that inside the 15-yard line to the 14 of the Wolverines.
Took all but, I think, 2 white jerseys to get into that pile to stop that. So we'll give the entire team a tackle.
Works for me. As the Wolverines, again, allowing the Indians to drive this ball down the field. Knocking on the door again, already up 7-0. As you can see, that lineman for the Indians look like number 53, Michael Baker, helping Flatty get some extra yardage. 2nd down and 6 for the Indians. Cruz now will take the shotgun snap. Fake left. Takes it right. Not much doing there, but a couple yards for the Indians. 2 yards about, and this will create a 3rd down and about 4 here for West Allegheny.
Nice job by Christopher Jones there, the number 6, the defensive end for Woodland Hills. Kind of staying at home, didn't fall for that misdirection. You know, stayed on his assignment, kept that left side tight, and comes up with a really, really nice tackle here.
3rd down 4 at the 12.
Looked like Shea Downing got a big piece of jersey for the Wolverines there. 3rd down. Cruz fakes over the top. He's got Vandamia, but a little bit too high. And that's going to fall incomplete with 4:30 remaining until the half. West Allegheny now in another 4th down situation. This time, Palco's going to bring out the field goal unit as this is a little bit closer. And we take a second look at that play, Rick. And Cruz had Vandamia open. It had to be a perfect pass. He almost hit it, but it falls incomplete.
Yeah, that's a tough ball. He's got to kind of drop that nose right into the corner there to have a chance.
Field goal attempt here for West Allegheny. Snaps a little bit high, but it's down, it's up, and it looks wide from our angle, and it sure is. That was John McCardle on the attempt, but he hooks it wide.
Yeah, I can't tell if that was just kind of a bit of a shank or if maybe one of the white jerseys got a big paw on that. That had a very strange flight coming off the foot.
Cruz was able to get the snap down well. It did look like
there was an arm up there. I couldn't make heads or tail. It didn't look like it changed the flight. I think that was just a little bit of a shankypotamus.
Certainly did look like the Wolverines may have been able to get a piece of that, but again, you know the rules in high school. After that missed field goal, the ball moves to the 20-yard line. So the Wolverines pick up a little bit of yardage on that.
All right, they're hanging here. It's still 7-0 here. We need a nice drive here. We've got more than enough time to move the ball 80 yards down the field. Got to get Anthony Meredith going here on offense.
4:26 until the half. Gavin Judson now back in at quarterback under center. The give to Will Clark breaks the initial tackle, but as he goes left, not much doing. He's able to get about a yard there for the Wolverines.
They just can't seem to get into any kind of a rhythm here on that offensive line. It's understandable. It's a lot of meat they're trying to push around up there.
West Allegheny, always a team with a tough defense. Giving up a decent amount of points against a few teams this year, like the Peters Township and Bethel Park. But Wolverine speed should be producing more tonight for Woodland Hills, but not able to as we go under 4 minutes. Gavin Judson a little high there on the pass out to Jaden Lucas, and that's a way after the whistle takedown there by the Indians.
Way before the ball was there. Takedown as well, it looked to me.
Yeah, it looked like he had a bit of...
Really looking for a flag there. I'm curious to see this on the replay. It might have just been the angle from up here, but it's close. I got to say the striped jersey had a better view than I did from all the way over here.
So that puts the Wolverines now on a 3rd and long, about 9. Under center again. Back to pass is Judson. Not much time, and he is sacked by Mateo Van Damia. And you know, Rick, I don't really understand why you have him under center there. You want to give him a little bit more time in the shotgun. He just, the routes that were run, he didn't have enough time to throw it. They were running, looked like they were running deep routes, and
yeah, I think
he had no time.
If you're running a passing scheme where you want that quarterback in the pocket, you got to go shotgun against this team. If you want him under center to give the idea of a run, you got to have him rolling out to get away from this up the middle pressure.
Low snap, handles it. He's able to get it off. Taken by Dre Baldwin. The transfer from Woodland Hills, actually. We just found that out from the press box here, our statistician. Thank you for that information. A couple years ago, Dre Baldwin transferred into the West Allegheny School District. Now becoming a big receiver for them and return man. They will start at the Wolverines 45. And, you know, Rick, I kind of had some images back to a couple years ago when the Wolverines were in a close 7-point game with West Allegheny. They were able to block a field goal and take it in for a touchdown and get that 2-touchdown advantage. And after that, you know, we don't want to talk about what happened after that. But
no, we'll just leave it at that. They made a great play.
Yes, luckily Hanchy was able to get that one off. A lot of trickery here,
wow.
But the Wolverines read that very well. Anthony Meredith, why are we surprised that he was in on that? Taking down the aforementioned Dre Baldwin, and a huge loss for the Indians.
Yeah, great mental game there by Anthony Meredith. That's clearly a play that the Wolverines saw on film at some point, and they knew to stay home. That just took entirely too long to develop in the backfield for West Allegheny.
Yes.
And when you got a guy like Meredith sniffing for the ball, you can't play around 10 yards deep for that long.
Wolverine speed. Was able to take that one down for a big loss. Now a 2nd and 23 as we approach 2 minutes and 20 seconds left until the half. They give. He's going to look over the middle. This one's definitely going to be too far.
There's that Sidney and Meredith meeting there at the quarterback, but he had a man wide open down the middle, but a big hit on him as he threw the ball. I think just made that reception impossible.
I would guess he did smell that pressure coming, Rick, and he was...
Yeah, it looks like Meredith
with the big hit.
Right as he's thrown.
Yeah, the West Allegheny fans sounded like they wanted a penalty, but certainly not. It was just a great play by Anthony Meredith to rush that pass, and it was a little too high by Cruz.
Yeah, the home crowd always wants a penalty.
This stuff is definitely true.
Relax, they're gonna get plenty.
2:17 remaining until the half. 3rd and long for West Allegheny. 4 receivers. Gonna do the little slip screen. Missed tackle by Anthony Meredith. Baldwin takes it nowhere to go as he's going to get to about the 41-yard line there. Nothing doing.
I'll tell you what, that's the defensive series of the game so far for the Wolverines.
Absolutely. Great play by the Wolverines defense. Able to cut that drive short. And they're letting the clock run here, and I believe the Wolverines have 2 timeouts left, and we'll see how Coach Boster wants to use those as the Indians are in punt formation.
They're going to let that run to 1 before
Absolutely, they will. They'll let this clock run down. I'm not quite sure why Coach Tim did not opt to take a timeout, but we'll see what his plan is. The floater snap is taken, end-over-end kick. Wolverines got to watch out, not let this one hit them. Gets dangerously close to hitting them, but this one takes a fantastic West Allegheny roll all the way to right about the 10-yard line. Looks like they'll spot it at about the 11. And Rick, you're right. I don't understand why Coach Tim did not take a timeout there. That would have allowed the Wolverines to talk things over going into that. Maybe would have avoided that punt. You can't say that that's exactly the outcome that would have happened had we taken the timeout there and been able to stop the clock around a minute 55.
Well, I mean, you could woulda, coulda, shoulda it all you want. I think the prudent call would have been the timeout, but I'm not the one with my name on that clipboard down there. That's up to Coach Tim. I think he had something else in mind. I think I'll ask him about it maybe after the game.
We'll see what the plan is as the Wolverines go back to Rodney Stubbs, the quarterback under center here with a minute 20. They're going to give up the middle, and William Clark's going to take this and break a tackle, but still not much doing as there's a West Allegheny Indian down at about the 12-yard line, right in the center of the field, and that will stop the clock. So after seeing that play, that's Logan Scheider, the senior wide receiver for West Allegheny there. And with a minute 12 remaining until a half, after seeing a play like that, you wonder if Coach Tim just wants to take this into the locker room down 7-0.
Yeah, I think with that punt coming down to as deep in our own territory as it was, I don't think they want to, really gamble if anything. But they're not getting not giving their quarterback a lot of time. They're getting a lot of pressure every time they drop back to throw. So I think the idea of trying to launch the ball downfield when we haven't been successful with it all game is a gamble he wasn't willing to take in a 7-0 game. I think we're going in. It's if we can not do anything extraordinarily stupid here, I think we'll take a 7-0 deficit going into halftime with a big smile.
Don't forget the Wolverines will be back at the Wolverina next week for a big non-conference matchup against the Kiski area Cavaliers. Having a pretty good season. They'll come in to face Woodland Hills. Years ago, they were in the same conference, so it'll be nice to face off against Kiski again. Kickoff will be 7 o'clock for that game. We'll take a good look at the Allegheny 8 standings here as the West Allegheny Indians tied up with Upper St. Clair, 3-1 overall in the conference. Overall record is 3-1 for West Allegheny. Upper St. Clair 4-1. Peters Township in third place in the conference, 2-1 in the conference, 3-2 overall, followed by the Moon Area Tigers, 1-1, 2-3 overall. Then tied with Bethel Park, also 1-1 in the conference, followed by the Baldwin Highlanders, who the Woodland Hills Wolverines got the victory over last week, who were 1-2. Woodland Hills 1-3 in conference, and last place Chartiers Valley 0-2. A decent team though, Rick, is Chartiers Valley. Take a look at the Big East standings. Gateway, no surprise, they're on top, 5-0 overall, 3-0 in the conference. They probably will walk to that conference championship if you ask me, or run to that conference championship easily. Franklin Regional in second place, followed by McKeesport, who's tied with Penn Trafford. But Penn Trafford had the victory over McKeesport, so they'll take that tiebreaker. Followed by Latrobe and Connellsville, Albert Gallatin, and Plum. Speaking of Albert Gallatin and Plum, something that you're not used to hearing from Woodland Hills, a statistic you're not used to hearing, is that Woodland Hills has the third fewest points, total points on offense in 5A this season to this point, followed only, in front of only Albert Gallatin and Plum, and that's something you're not used to hearing. Usually by this point, the Wolverines are scoring lots of points, and the struggles on offense have been evident and clear, and it continues tonight.
Yeah, it's pretty uncharacteristic for this Woodland Hills team. And they've got some talent on the offense. I attribute a lot of that to the penalties, and a lot of it to the amount of points that the other side's getting on Woodland Hills. They've given up a lot of yardage, a lot of points throughout the first couple weeks. That keeps your offense off the field. That keeps your stats down. That's going to keep your scoring to a minimum.
Certainly, we haven't been able to see much from Judson and Stubbs as they haven't had much time. But of course, that offensive line, inexperienced, undersized. You got great skill players like Jaden Lucas and Josh Rawlings, and even guys that can come in like Tavian Brooks and of course Mike Coleman. You got a lot of them, but they haven't been able to produce much for the Wolverines. And it looks like Scheider's still down, so we'll probably take a break here as this might look like it is serious, Rick. So it's, again, 7-0 West Allegheny as Wolverines have the ball back with 1:12 left until the half. We're going to step away for a moment here from West Allegheny. 7-0 West Allegheny again. You're tuned in to the Wolverines and the Indians on the Trib Live High School Sports Network and the Woodland Hills Football Network, presented by State Senator Jay Costa.
State Senator Jay Costa is proud to represent Pennsylvania's 43rd District since 1996 and is happy to support the Woodland Hills football team. If you have an issue concerning state government, contact one of Senator Costa's 3 local offices. Senator Costa's offices offer a variety of services for constituents. You can reach Senator Costa's Forest Hills office at 412-241-6690 or log on to senatorcosta.com. The Triangle Bar and Grill in Swissvale is a proud sponsor of the Wolverines and has been serving the Woodland Hills community for nearly 3/4 of a century. The Triangle, located on Monongahela Avenue, is the home of the Battleship, the sandwich that made Swissvale famous. Plus, the Triangle has a full menu of specialty sandwiches you're gonna love. Call the Triangle at 412-271-9885 to place your order now.
Here's the big okay.
Back here at West Allegheny, Logan Scheider, glad to see him up and walking, as that looked pretty serious. And you never want to see that happen at the high school level, at any level really, but especially the high school level. And Scheider looks like he's going to take off to the locker room, but again, he's on his feet, he's walking, and that is fantastic to see that.
To me, that's an indication of a head injury.
Second down for the Wolverines, taken by Will Clark. A nice run, some shiftiness. Able to get some yardage there on the take from Rodney Stubbs. It'll be a 3rd and short as we go under a minute here, and certainly looks like Coach Tim just wants to take this to the locker room and hold the ball here and hopefully get a first down so they can run the clock out, although West Allegheny without any timeouts. So could effectively get this very low after this play. We'll see when they snap it.
At the 19.
Ball at the 19-yard line of Woodland Hills. 10 seconds on the play clock. Straight up the gut. And first down for the Wolverines, and that should be it after the clock stops momentarily to reset the chains, but I don't know if we'll see them run another play. Depends on when they start this clock.
For a first down.
And just about a second difference, so we'll probably see the Wolverines run a play. And if I were the Wolverines here, if this is what you're going to do, just kneel it. You don't want to risk fumbling the ball and having them pick it up and carry it into the end zone. They're going to hand it off, though, and Will Clark's going to take it along the left side. Nice little run for Will Clark, and he goes out of bounds, so that clock will stop, actually, with 6 seconds remaining.
27, William Clark.
You know, if it's me, you might want to line up Judson and deep shotgun, just throw one up for grabs.
That's kind of what I'm thinking.
I mean, why not at this point?
Same exact thought here. With 6 seconds left, you're not buried anymore. Take one shot down the sideline, see what can happen.
Judson has some great arm strength. We've seen from his film from his school in New York, Waverly High School. They're not going to do that, though. They're just going to go under center here again with Stubbs. Probably be a give to Clark, but again, Wolverines have to be careful. They do not want to fumble this ball. We've seen things like that happen. On a pitch, that is a risky play, but Clark's going to take it over the right, string out the defense, and there's a flag on the play. And as the clock runs out, I think they're just going to let this one go to the locker room for halftime.
Put it in your pocket.
Yeah, I'm surprised they threw that flag there, assuming it's a holding on the Wolverines. Safe assumption. Looks like Palco's way out on the field, probably just wants to decline it. Yep, he wants to decline this penalty and just go to the locker room, certainly. He will do that indeed. So after an interesting half of football where the Wolverines offense wasn't able to get much going, but the defense again, after that initial drive, came up big time after time for Woodland Hills on many stops and a missed field goal by West Allegheny. The one touchdown for the West Allegheny Indians is all we have so far. So we'll be back with a bit of a halftime show here for Woodland Hills before the band go on the field. But it's 7-0 at the half. West Allegheny over the Indians here in Imperial, Pennsylvania. You're tuned into the Wolverines and the Indians on the Trib Live High School Sports Network and the Woodland Hills Football Network, presented by State Senator Jay Costa.
You're tuned in to Wolverine Football, presented by State Senator Jay Costa on the Woodland Hills Football Network and the Trib Live High School Sports Network. Wolverine Football is also brought to you by the Triangle Bar and Grill, Patrick T. Lanigan Funeral Home, LGAR Health and Rehabilitation Center, the law offices of Owen Seaman, Bush Brothers Car Care, the Barber's Inn in Swissvale, LG3 Entertainment, Web Landings, A-Boss Opticians, Matthews Auto Service, and the Zubin Dental Associates. Now it's time for the Woodland Hills Football Network Halftime Show.
We hope you enjoy our performance.
Back here in West Allegheny as we get ready for the bands. It is 7-0 West Allegheny over the Wolverines here. And Rick, it's been a defensive half as we expected. We've seen this before. Last year, the final score before these two teams right here in West Allegheny was 7-0 at the end of the game. I wouldn't be surprised if that's how it ends, but obviously we do not want to see that from Woodland Hills. But offense struggling again. It's been a lot of the same, but the defense coming through again.
Yeah, I think right before the game I even mentioned, I think we're going to see a close game through at least the first quarter and a half, maybe into the halftime. My concern is attrition and the number of red jerseys just on the bench and on the field for West Allegheny versus the fairly small number of kids we have on the team right now for Woodland Hills. Obviously, we have a lot of our star talent. It's two platoon in it. And I think the number of defensive plays that you're seeing Meredith have to make is kind of maybe limiting what we're doing on offense, because he's somebody that's one of our juggernauts, gets that running game going, and then that kind of tends to open up everything else based on that. So I think his physical expenditure on the defensive side is maybe handicapping that offense a little bit.
The only score of the game came on the opening drive for West Allegheny as they were able to drive all the way down the field on a pass from quarterback Cam Cruz to John Rink in the back of the end zone, which looked like the Wolverines were going to stop that play, Rick. They were unable to, and the West Allegheny Indians went up 7-0. Missed a field goal later in the second quarter, but that's all we have so far as the Woodland Hills offense has been struggling, not able to get anything on the board. 7-0 lead for West Allegheny. So we will watch the bands here and gear up for the second half, and hopefully the offense can come out strong for the Wolverines. You're tuned into the Wolverines and the Indians on the Trib Live High School Sports Network and the Woodland Hills Football Network, presented by State Senator Jay Costa.
Tonight put on by the Woodland Hills Marching Band and the West
You're tuned in to
Allegheny
Wolverine
Marching
Football,
Band.
presented by State Senator Jay Costa on the Woodland Hills Football Network.
Back here in West Allegheny, the Wolverines trail the Indians 7-0, a defensive struggle for both sides. The Wolverines not on the board yet, but the West Allegheny Indians are on their first drive of the game. Went all the way down the field, and on a 4th and goal, they were able to score on a pass from Cam Cruz to wide receiver John Rink. Wolverines will get the ball first, though, to start the second half, and hopefully that can jumpstart something for the Wolverines. We'll be back with the kickoff of the second half here in Imperial, Pennsylvania. You're tuned in to the Wolverines and the Indians on the Trib Live High School Sports Network and the Woodland Hills Football Network, presented by State Senator Jay Costa.
That's a yellow ticket.
State Senator Jay Costa is proud to represent Pennsylvania's 43rd district since 1996 and is happy to support the Woodland Hills football team. If you have an issue concerning state government, contact one of Senator Costa's 3 local offices. Senator Costa's offices offer a variety of services for constituents. You can reach Senator Costa's Forest Hills office at 412-241-6690 or log on to senatorcosta.com.
6924.
The Triangle Bar and Grill in Swissvale is a proud sponsor of the Wolverines and has been serving the Woodland Hills community for nearly 3/4 of a century. The Triangle, located on Monongahela Avenue, is the home of the Battleship, the sandwich that made Swissvale famous. Plus, the Triangle has a full menu of specialty sandwiches you're gonna love. Call the Triangle at 412-271-9885 to place your order now. Patrick T. Lanigan Funeral Home, with locations in East Pittsburgh and Turtle Creek, is a member of the Hall of Excellence of the National Funeral Directors Association. This reflects the same pursuit of excellence by our Woodland Hills football team, cheerleaders, marching band, students, staff, and faculty. For over 110 years, Patrick T. Lanigan Funeral Home has been honored to serve local families and to be a proud partner of the Woodland Hills communities.
Life has its ups and downs. There are times when you or a loved one needs help. That's why you should know the name LGAR, Health and Rehabilitation Center. Located just minutes from the Monroeville Mall, the LGAR Health and Rehabilitation Center has been known by locals for many years, and they excel in reputation, rehabilitation, recuperation, and residential living. The help and answers you need are just a phone call away at 412-825-9000. Also on the web at lgar.org. LGAR Health and Rehabilitation Center, a name you should know and a name you can trust.
Woodland Hills football is brought to you in part by the law offices of Owen Seaman. Owen is a Woodland Hills alumnus who studied law at Duquesne University and has been practicing law in the Pittsburgh area for over 15 years. Attorney Owen Seaman's experience encompasses virtually every facet of criminal defense. If you find yourself in need of criminal defense representation, call Owen at 412-721-0412 or visit owenthelawyer.com. There are few things that guys like more than a great haircut at a real barbershop. And at the Barber's Inn on Washington Avenue in Swissvale, you'll find both. Plus, you can relax in style on supple leather sofas while watching their big screen HD TV. You can even shoot some pool while you wait. But most importantly, you'll walk out the door with a haircut or shave that you're sure to love. Walk-ins are always welcome at the Barber's Inn. For more information, call 412-271-7434. And remember, real men come to the Barber's Inn.
LG3 Entertainment is a first-class disc jockey and karaoke entertainment company that serves the Pittsburgh and surrounding areas. They offer a wide range of music entertainment for weddings, anniversaries, school dances, corporate events, and more. They also offer beautiful chair cover linen rentals to give your event the elegance it deserves. They offer many more services, so go to their website today and see why so many choose LG3 Entertainment for the best in family fun entertainment.
Nick Corley, Ed Nizer, Jerry Kim, and Sam Hickson.
Dawn and John at Matthews Auto Service have been serving the Turtle Creek Valley for over 40 years. In addition to being a full-service gas station, Matthews offers oil changes, state inspection and emissions testing, new tires, and light mechanical work. Matthews Auto Service, Monroeville Avenue in Turtle Creek, or call them at 412-824-0940.
Thanks for tuning in to the halftime show on the Woodland Hills Football Network and the Trib Live High School Sports Network. Woodland Hills Football is presented by State Senator Jay Costa. Wolverine Football is also brought to you by the Triangle Bar and Grill, Patrick T. Lanigan Funeral Home, LGAR Health and Rehabilitation Center, the law offices of Owen Seaman, Bush Brothers Car Care, the Barbers.
Back here at West Allegheny, ready for the second half. The Indians are ready to kick off to the Wolverines. This time they'll kick it deep. Back to return for the Wolverines. Looks like William Clark. He'll take it over the left side, finding a little bit of greenery. Able to make a great cutback there and get some nice extra yardage for the Wolverines. Give him some nice starting field position. And that was a great move by Will Clark that he put on an Indian to get some extra yardage and put him up around the 40. It looks like they'll spot it at the 37.
Yeah, he showed some great vision there. Really looked like he was trying to get to that corner out here on the left. At this point, you know, it looks open, He gets a chance to see upfield, sees everything flowing, makes a really nice cutback there. Picks up about another 15 yards because of it.
1st and 10 for the Wolverines. Gavin Judson in at quarterback. He's got 3 receivers. He's in the shotgun. Takes the snap. Give to Meredith. Nothing doing on the inside handoff. In fact, he will lose a yard.
Anthony Meredith, number 5, carried.
With the Indians stacking the box here, Wolverines have had little to no success running the ball anywhere tonight. They haven't tried too much to get
they're
the
not
outside.
actually stacking the box. They're just that big. It looks like 9 guys in the box. It's just, you know, a lot of horses up there.
Judson, nice pass to Jay Smith at the 40. Jay Smith takes it along the sideline. Nice little gain there for the Wolverines. And they're going to spot it right at about the first down marker, and the Wolverines will get the first down there on a nice pass from Gavin Judson to Jay Smith.
Yeah, nice pattern, nice pass, really nice pass protection there. And excellent game awareness here. He knows where the stick is. Got to get to that first down. Does a nice job getting just enough to move the chains.
Big first down for the Wolverines there now. Ball at their own 48. First down and 10. 4 receivers in the shotgun formation, in the pistol. Nice run by Meredith there. Taking some contact.
Taking or making?
I think making, you're right. Yeah, I think making. I think you're right. I don't think taking exactly the right comment there because he was looking for it. Got it and pushed ahead for a couple extra yards. They'll spot this ball at the 47 of the Indians. Now the Wolverines are in West Allegheny territory. Shotgun again. Meredith to the right of Judson. Give to Meredith, nowhere to go on the inside handoff. He is hit immediately by West Allegheny's Mateo Van Damia there, and yet again West Allegheny sniffing that out, nothing doing, and this will put the Wolverines in a 3rd and 8 right at midfield.
Yeah, that's just a simple matter of, the West Allegheny watching all the film. When you see that backside tackle pulling, they're shooting that backside linebacker right through that gap, and he just came through basically untouched. Blows the play up in the backfield before it has a chance to develop.
3rd and 8, Judson in the shotgun, takes a snap. No time, he's going to throw it out to Jaden Lucas, and actually a decent pass there as he was being pressured. It was a little bit low, could have definitely been caught there by the Wolverines.
Yeah, it hit him in the hands. I'm not one that should really make that kind of a call. I wasn't known for the most sure-handed, as the most sure-handed tight end in Woodland Hills history, but it looked like a pretty good ball, and that's wouldn't have been enough for the first, but maybe it gets you into a position where you go for it.
Misspoke there. I think that was Mike Coleman there on the outside on the pass from Judson, incomplete. Punt formation for the Wolverines. Chucky Hanchett gets the snap, able to get it off as the Indians were in there quick, and another great bounce here. And if the Wolverines,
really nice
cut
job.
that one close as it was rolling fast.
He kind of danced around it a little bit, but
great play.
He was kind of losing his footing. Excellent job. Chucky, I think, kind of mishandled that snap for just that half beat here. You'll see him. You didn't quite catch it on that replay, but as he caught the ball, there was a little bit of a right there. That extra half step almost gets that ball blocked.
Nice
Ends
catch,
up
Rick.
with one heck of a result here, down onto basically the one blade of grass line.
That's right. The ball deep in West Allegheny territory as they will start this drive from their own 1-yard line. And that was Tavian Brooks downing that punt. Great job to pin the Indians back. This is when the defense for the Wolverines has to come through big. 1st and 10 for West Allegheny. Ball at their own 1-yard line. They're just going to do a QB sneak with Cam Cruz, and with that big offensive line, that's a smart move by Bob Palco, and they're going to throw a flag on that play. Not sure if it's maybe
quarterback Cruz.
That may be a flag on the offensive line moving the pile.
Yeah, they were definitely pushing it forward.
Which you can't do. I'm not sure what they're calling here though.
They have the ball spotted at the 10-yard line. We'll see what this is. My initial thought was maybe a face mask.
Face mask.
And then it is. Unfortunately,
I should have probably guessed something along those lines.
Wolverines pin the Indians back, and unfortunately they grab a face mask, and now they put them way out there with plenty of breathing room out to the 15-yard line. Unfortunately, unable to do anything with that great punt and roll by Chucky Hanchett. The Wolverines started with some undisciplined penalties in the game, and then the second half now starting the same way. The rest of the first half, they did well. They did not commit as many penalties, but now they're starting again with that. 1st and 10, ball at the 15, jet sweep, pitch. Able to stay on his feet a little bit there was Kyle Mattel for West Allegheny and get a couple extra yards. Merritt, Kyle Merritt.
Kyle Merritt, number 42, on the inside handoff.
Yeah, really not a terrible job here by the defense. Get a little bit of penetration. He just can't shed the blocks. They're seeing where the ball's going. They're doing the right things and keeping their head upfield. It's just this offensive line is pretty impressive.
2nd down for the Indians. Another give on the jet sweep to Kyle Merritt, this time the other direction. Not as successful this time, but he's still able to get 2 there for West Allegheny. Put him in a 3rd and manageable 3.
Like Christopher Jones there on the stop. Made a nice play, kind of looked like maybe flowed from that backside.
Jones, number 6, was stopped.
No, he just stood him up on the post. Sheds the block, jumps off. Little help there from the big man.
It's like Anthony Meredith got held a little bit there, and he looked like he would have been the man on the initial hit for a loss, but unfortunately he was held back and wasn't able to make the play. 3rd and about 3. Cruz rolls out. He's got a man. That's Flatty, and fortunately for the Wolverines, he was unable to hold on. The ball was a little bit behind him. It was in his general area there, and he probably could have come up with that play if you asked Dante Flatty. I'm sure he would say he should have had it, but it would have been a tough catch for him to make, and now the Wolverines have forced the Indians to punt.
Yeah, I think that ball was thrown in the right spot. He just loses his footing a little bit as he turns there. And I think when you do that from inside that helmet, everything in your eyes start bouncing. Makes that ball really, really difficult to focus on.
Certainly back shoulder catch like that is tough to make. It was put, you're right, Rick, it was put in a spot where only he could catch it. 4th down. And about 4. Good snap. West Allegheny gets the punt off, end over end. And it's going to be down by West Allegheny at about the Woodland Hills 48-yard line. So that is where the Wolverines will start.
It might be their best starting field position of the day.
Yeah, they started that first drive. Our first drive of the game, I believe, was started right at midfield. So right in that area, that's when the Wolverines went back about 30 yards or around
I think
that.
we started right around the 40 or 45. Yeah, and ended up losing 30.
So Wolverines come out here now, 1st and 10. Judson in the shotgun, 4 wide receivers. Some very talented individuals out there at the wide receiver spots, hoping they can get the ball here and get the Wolverines on the board. Judson. Jay Smith goes in motion. The give to Jay Smith. Using that speed to break free for a 1st down for the Wolverines, and a nice play there for the Wolverines, getting Jay Smith involved.
Yeah, I'm kind of waiting to see that play all night. Yeah, that looked like the old school 27 stretch. That's the play where that's how you utilize your speed with this offense. The entire offensive line just kind of scoop blocks left, picks up a man, and then goes to the next level. That, hopefully if you can get that corner and you got that speed, he's going to get to that opening and then make that one cutback. It can usually result in some pretty big yards.
Nice gain by Jay Smith, and the Wolverines are going to follow that up with a false start.
What's nice about those stretch plays is if you get it outside fast enough, that upfield penetration up through the middle doesn't matter, because it's actually helping you, because you're getting outside it. Now they don't have a chance to backtrack and get to you.
43-yard line.
So the original line of scrimmage was the 38-yard line of West Allegheny. Now we're back at the 43-yard line of West Allegheny on the 5-yard false start penalty on the Wolverines. Pistol formation. Judson gets a snap, back to pass. Over to Jay Smith. Nice catch by Smith to pull it in. At the 40, breaks a tackle along the sideline. I'm not sure when he stepped out there. We couldn't tell from our vantage point, but we'll see where the spot is. And he did not step out when we thought he did, evidently, and he's able to get up to the 31-yard line.
Looked like half of West Allegheny thought he was going to just step out of bounds as well. Does a real nice job. Good, game and field awareness here. Gets turned to the outside, makes a man miss, knows to stay in bounds, pick up them extra couple yards. Really athletic move there.
Nice gain by Jay Smith on the good pass from Gavin Judson. 2nd and about 3 here for the Wolverines. Sending Jay Smith in motion. Again, the give to him. He's going to try and string it out. West Allegheny has that one covered much better than the first. And they're only going to get about a yard there of the Wolverines. And now they're going to be stuck in a 3rd and 2.
Say that in that situation, because that play takes a little bit longer to develop, that upfield in the middle penetration gets in there and kind of throws a monkey wrench in the whole works. If you're going to try to beat him with the speed to the outside, you got to get out there right now. You got to get out there fast. This play just takes a second too long to develop.
3rd and 2. Wolverines basically have 2 chances to get this 2 yards. You're in 4th down territory here, where I'm certain Coach Tim would want to go for this. Give to Meredith straight up the gut, and he's going to fall short of a 1st down, so it'll be a 4th down and about 2 still.
Yeah, he picked up maybe half a yard there. Kind of just fell forward for a little positive gain. Little Charlie block on the backside, and He didn't quite get that out block. Got a little bit of penetration and collapsed that hole.
Crucial 4th down situation here for Woodland Hills. In the I formation, Judson under center. 4th and 2.
Do not go offsides.
Judson gets the snap, give to Meredith. Not much running room, but he's able to take that up to about the 28-yard line, and depending on the spot, we'll see where they spot this ball and if it will be a first down for Woodland Hills. It looked like he was able to get that ball across the first down marker.
It certainly looks like it to me. I'm not sure about the spot.
They're gonna, looks like they might measure this. They will indeed. And
number 17 here, Kyle Guilfoyle, I think is going to remember this play for a little while. Watch the punishment he lays on him here. Kind of reminds me of an old man that used to wear these jerseys, number 32, Melvin Cannonball Cobbs. Used to truck over people like that all the time. We didn't have the benefit of that stretch play back when Melvin played. We used to line up and say, number 32's running right here, try and stop him. And not too many people did.
All right. Here's the measurement. Chains come down, and that's a first down for the Wolverines. Certainly as we expected, Rick. It looked like Meredith was able to get that ball over the first down marker. They bring out the chains, and we are correct. First down for Woodland Hills at the West Allegheny 28 with 6:04 remaining in the third quarter. If you're the Wolverines, you got to cash in here. You've been having trouble all night. Coach Tim trying some different things, using the speed, which we like to see, and it's been effective so far on this drive. Now maybe see if you can get a guy like Davion Rochelle or Josh Rawlings involved. 1st and 10. Wolverines. Judson under center in the I formation again. And that's a flag. Ball thrown away by Judson. Nobody there. Could be intentional grounding too, I would think. I mean, he was in the pocket. Nobody was around. Looks like it's going to be an illegal shift on the Wolverines.
It's almost predictable at this point. As soon as you start feeling a little momentum for the white jerseys, somebody does something, kind of sucks a little bit of it out.
Yep, those pre-snap penalties have been killing the Wolverines
there have
again.
Been an alarming number of them this year.
Haven't been a ton tonight, probably about 4 of them, but if you'd ask any coach, I'm sure they'd say that's too many. 1 is too many. Under center, Judson, I formation again. Give to Meredith. Meredith takes it to the left, breaks a couple tackles. He's up to the 20, the 15-yard line, down at about the 13 or 12. A great run by Anthony Meredith. He made that. He got a couple blocks, but a couple moves too by Anthony Meredith on a powerful run down inside the red zone to the 12-yard line of West Allegheny.
Yeah, that absolutely explosive play here by Meredith. A couple nice blocks up front. Really nice kick-out block there by number 6. And then, yeah, he just gets upfield. You give that kid a crack, and he's 15 yards downfield before you blink.
1st and 10 at the 12-yard line. Wolverines under center. Quick give to Christopher Jones. Not much doing there. They thought maybe they could fool the front line of the Indians, but they were ready for that one.
I think they were rewarding him for that block he just made on that last play to kind of freed that up for the 25, 30-yard gain.
Chris Jones, gain of about 1 there for the Wolverines at the 11-yard line now. Wolverines can get a first down here.
2nd down 9.
Well, that looked like half the offensive line was blocking one thing. The other half was, well, not blocking at all.
2nd and 9. Judson under center. Same formation. Give to Meredith. If he was able to break that one of those first couple tackles, he might have been into the end zone there, but he's unable to. A gain of 1 for Meredith, now ball at the 10-yard line, and they're going down the field doing different things, and now they get back into this right up the middle, and it's coming back to bite them.
This is just 1 missed block away from going. Watch the right guard here, comes out, gets tripped up, and misses that kick-out block. But if you see it, if he doesn't get turned in, there was a big seam up that left side.
Could have been taking that to the house. Nico Flatty on the tackle.
Number 6, he doesn't get that one little trip step.
3rd down and 8 for the Wolverines. Give to Meredith again, up the middle. Not much doing, about a yard there. And the Wolverines are going to attempt a field goal here. And I know you got a good leg in Chucky Hanchett, but I'm not sure about this. I know it's a long 4th down, but you've been having trouble all night.
It's a long 4th down. I think this is your best shot at getting points on the board right now. You know, it's hard to not go for this and get the 3 points.
Got a 26-yard attempt here.
It's well within Chucky's range, as long as the offensive line can hold up.
Snap a little high. Lucas gets it down, and the kick is no good. Way short there. Not sure what happened, and
I think it's got to be those shoes.
Yeah, those shoes that we mentioned before the game, and the West Allegheny Indians will get the ball at their own 20 now after the missed field goal. And you know, I hate to say I told you so, Rick, but I think the Wolverines should have gone for it.
You didn't commit to anything. You said I don't know.
I like to roll the dice in a game like this when you're really close, and I do like the leg of Chucky Hanchett, but I think you got to go for that. You may not get another good opportunity. It was a long 4th down attempt, but as long as they weren't going to run it up the middle, I would have liked to go for it there. But nonetheless, 1st and 10 for West Allegheny. Ball at their own 20. They're up 7-0 with 3:31 remaining in the 3rd quarter. Cruz in the shotgun. Give to Flatty. Looked like he tripped over himself there, and
thankfully,
fortunately for the Wolverines,
there was a pretty nice play development in front of him there. The whole backside pulled. Nice kick out, nice fill by the backside tackle. You'll see here, out and up. And there was, from the other camera angle, there was a nice hole opening up.
Sidney Summers on the tackle there for the Wolverines, and he may have been able to get by Sidney, as you said, and take that for big yardage, but unable to, and that's a loss for West Allegheny of 3, now a 2nd and 13. In the shotgun formation. 3 receivers. Back to pass on the blitz for the Wolverines, looking deep down the right sideline. This ball's on the mark and dropped.
Excellent coverage.
Very good coverage indeed by the Wolverines. Tavian Brooks coming through on the coverage along the sideline there. It's one thing you won't see too often is a Wolverine defensive back get beat because of speed. If they get beat off the line by a move, that's one thing. But Tavian Brooks had him right off the bat. He was unable to run past him. Although the ball was pretty decently thrown.
Oh, that was a money ball. That was,
yeah, it was
right where it had to be,
absolutely.
right on the outside shoulder. That was perfect throw.
Intended for Dre Baldwin there.
It's one of those combat catches that the great ones come down with. And that's what makes them great.
3rd and 13, crucial situation for the Wolverines defense. Got to get a stop. Rolling out.
Ooh.
Cam Cruz with the pass, and that's incomplete.
Wolverines defender kind of playing with fire there. Kind of had his hands around him there as the ball went by.
Yeah, it certainly looked
really
like
was no reason to touch him.
It was close. Throw off the mark.
And easily could have been a flag.
The Wolverines come up big with a stop. 2:43 left in the 3rd quarter. They will force a punt by the Indians. Looks like Jaden Lucas is back to receive for Woodland Hills. Can't quite tell a number. It's a guess right now. Low snap. Gets the punt away. Wolverines got to watch out, make sure it doesn't hit him. Does not. Rolls out of bounds on the bounce. See where this is spotted. Should be at the 49-yard line of West Allegheny. Again, great starting field position for Woodland Hills. Hopefully they can take this one 49 yards to the end zone.
Yeah, nice job there by holding everything up and see what we can do.
1st and 10 for Woodland Hills. Ball at the West Allegheny 49 with 2:36 remaining in the 3rd quarter. This is a classic game between these two. The first time they met back in 2014, it was a 42-41 overtime loss for the Wolverines right here in Imperial, Pennsylvania. A tough one for the Wolverines then. A lot of scoring. This one's a little bit different. It's like last year. Judson takes a snap. A little out to Jay Smith. Breaks the tackle on a nice move. Hit hard at the 44-yard line, but he's able to stay on his feet for a moment, then get brought down by a couple Indians.
I'm not sure what the helmet-to-helmet rule is anymore, but they don't seem to be looking for it tonight.
Yeah, certainly looked darn close to being helmet-to-helmet, Rick, on that hard hit there.
Yeah, nice job here to come down with that ball in the first place. It wasn't necessarily put in the best spot for him.
Was able to get by Kyle Merritt there. Was the would-be tackler. Judson now with 4 receivers on this shotgun set. Clark to his right. Little wide receiver screen. Caught by Jaden Lucas. Thought he dropped it at first. He's able to get a first down on the forward progress there. And it looked like that might slip out of his hands at first. From my vantage point, I was unable to tell.
That could have very easily been a whoop, 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 and then go the other way.
You know, Rick, the key that I saw with that play, earlier in the year when they were trying to run a wide receiver screen, the receiver usually was William Clark from the running back position, and he was stopped. And his momentum, he had to regain his momentum and run after. And if you have the Wolverines on the run on a screen like that, it's going to be so much more effective, in my opinion. Get him on the move, already his feet moving, rather than having to restart.
Well, that wasn't technically a screen. It was basically just a quick out. But, yeah, you make an excellent point. If you get him with the ball already moving out in open field, he's going to be tough to bring down.
William Clark breaks the initial tackle, able to get over the 30-yard line, for a nice first down run of about 9 yards.
All right, we got, this actually almost looks the opposite of what I was almost expecting to see in the second half. I was kind of expecting to see the red jerseys grinding down on the white ones. And this kind of looks like the Woodland Hills offensive line is starting to wear out this defensive line a little bit, starting to find a few, little chinks and cracks in the armor. And we've had a number of pretty big splash plays here already.
Now under a minute to go in the third quarter. Ball at the 29-yard line of West Allegheny. 2nd and 1. Judson in the shotgun. Clark to his left. Brings Jay Smith in motion. The give to Clark. He breaks upfield, up over the 20-yard line to about the 18. A nice run again by William Clark. Took that handoff like he was out of a cannon there. Made a nice move right off the bat. Got the ball to the 19. 1st and 10 for the Wolverines.
West Allegheny 19.
A little bit of misdirection, just enough to keep that outside safety, outside linebacker from checking in. Could let that man go unblocked. That frees another man to go up through the hole and kind of clear things up.
1st and 10 for the Wolverines.
Very nice play call.
Ball at the 19. Judson finds Rochelle. He had Rochelle over the middle, and it was just a little bit high there on the pass to Davion Rochelle. He was a big guy. He's about 6'1", and just above the fingertips of Rochelle, and that was very close to being 6. And they had that middle of the field open there, Rick, and that's something I've definitely wanted to see the Wolverines utilize. And a nice pass, but just a little too high. Rochelle was unable to get up there, and if he had been able to connect there, like I said, certainly would have been a touchdown.
Yeah, and he didn't have to hit him that hard. He kind of he could have lofted that maybe a little bit and just hit him softly in the end zone.
Yeah, no safety over the top there, so he didn't have to worry about that. Shotgun, bringing Jay Smith in motion, gets the handoff. Slips. Unfortunately, he slips. Might have been able to break one more tackle and get a little bit more yardage, but now in a third down situation is Jay Smith a little shaken up. Hopefully he didn't twist his ankle or anything there. But the ball.
When he slipped, he came down pretty hard on his backside.
And that will be the final play of the third quarter, as the ball will be placed at the 17-yard line. And the Wolverines will have a key 3rd and 8.
Yeah, it just kind of came down awkwardly on that right hip.
So we'll step away for a quick moment before the start of the fourth quarter. You're tuned into the Wolverines and the Indians on the Trib Live High School Sports Network and the Woodland Hills Football Network, presented by State Senator Jay Costa.
State Senator Jay Costa is proud to represent Pennsylvania's 43rd District since 1996 and is happy to support the Woodland Hills football team. If you have an issue concerning state government, contact one of Senator Costa's 3 local offices. Senator Costa's offices offer a variety of services for constituents. You can reach Senator Costa's Forest Hills office at 412-241-6690 or log on to senatorcosta.com.
You're tuned in to Wolverine Football, presented by State Senator Jay Costa on the Woodland Hills Football Network.
Back here, West Allegheny. As I mentioned earlier, in 2014, first time these two teams met, the Wolverines lost in a tough overtime game, 42-41 to West Allegheny. Last year, the Wolverines lost right here, 7-0. Very opposite type of games. It was 3 years apart, obviously. Tonight, we're seeing more like last year.
Yeah, this is definitely a very tight, obviously low-scoring game sitting here with 7-0. Really is starting to be reminiscent of last year's game. And it's been a lot of great defensive plays here. I'm starting to see a little bit of spark here from the white jerseys on offense. So let's see if they can keep that going after the quarter break.
Take it back down to the field here for a key 3rd down situation for Woodland Hills. Judson in the shotgun. Got Clark to his left, brings Jaden Lucas in motion. Judson back to pass, over the middle.
That's interference.
And it definitely looked like it might have been some kind of pass interference there, but I guess they ruled that he just ran into the defender for West Allegheny. I believe that was number 4. for West Allegheny, Ian McBain.
And bring up a 4th down for the
He
Wolverines.
ran into him and made him throw his arms out at him, apparently.
4th down 8.
Oh, yeah, I agree.
That is unbelievably
100% pass interference there. At first look, I thought maybe he was just, going for the ball too, and they ran into each other. But no, he had him sized up the entire time, was waiting for him, and I think he knew a flag was coming, but it didn't come. So a little break there for Bob Palco and the West Allegheny Indians. And the play clock now 5 seconds, and Wolverines are going to be forced to call a timeout unless this was taken by West Allegheny. I'm not sure. Yeah. First, I thought maybe West Allegheny took it. I thought that wouldn't have been smart with the play clock going down, but indeed, the Wolverines call a timeout.
Could be costly for the Wolverines as well.
Certainly. So we'll step away for another moment here as Wolverines face a key 4th and 8. With 11:54 left in the 4th quarter, the Wolverines trail the West Allegheny Indians 7-0. You're tuned into the Wolverines and the Indians on the Trib Live High School Sports Network and the Woodland Hills Football Network, presented by State Senator Jay Costa.
The Triangle Bar and Grill in Swissvale is a proud sponsor of the Wolverines and has been serving the Woodland Hills community for nearly 3/4 of a century. The Triangle, located on Monongahela Avenue, is the home of the Battleship, the sandwich that made Swissvale famous. Plus, the Triangle has a full menu of specialty sandwiches you're gonna love. Call the Triangle at 412-271-9885 to place your order now.
You're tuned in to Wolverine football, presented by State Senator Jay Costa on the Woodland Hills Football Network.
Back here at West Allegheny, huge 4th down situation for Woodland Hills. 4th and 8 from the 17-yard line as Wolverines look to convert a key 1st down. Gavin Judson in the shotgun. He's got 4 receivers. Jaden Lucas comes in motion from the left to the right. Lucas takes the snap. Looking to his left. He's got an open man. That's Mike Coleman. Depending on the spot here, we'll see what the Wolverines get. And they're going to say 1st down. No question about it. Mike Coleman across the middle with the big grab on a nice dart from Gavin Judson.
Yeah, smart route by Coleman there. Again, we've said it a few times there tonight. We've seen some smart plays by the white jerseys, knowing the down and distance, knowing where he had to be. There's no point in running that route a yard short of the 1st down. That's one of the things that will drive coaches absolutely batty watching film.
Very nice play by Woodland Hills, going over the middle, getting the 1st down. Now in a 1st and goal situation at the 9-yard line. Judson under center, and the play clock's going to expire. And it looks like Coach Tim got his timeout in time, and that's going to be the 2nd timeout for the Wolverines. They're going to be down to 1.
Ouch.
With 11:35 remaining, just some miscommunication there. They weren't ready, and it's going to cost them, I'm sure. But it'll be a 1st and goal from the 9-yard line, 11:35 remaining. Wolverines trail 7-0. You're tuned into the Wolverines and the Indians on the Trib Live High School Sports Network and the Woodland Hills Football Network, presented by State Senator Jay Costa.
Serving the Turtle Creek Valley and neighboring Woodland Hills communities for over 110 years, Patrick T. Lanigan Funeral Home now offers crematory services at their Turtle Creek location. Families choosing cremation can have added peace of mind knowing that their loved one never leaves the care of Patrick T. Lanigan Funeral Home, and that their crematory is used exclusively for the families they serve.
You're tuned in to Wolverine football, presented by State Senator Jay Costa on the Woodland Hills Football Network.
After the timeout, the Wolverines have it. 1st and goal at the 9-yard line. Under center, single back set. Judson gives to Will Clark. They were ready for it, but Clark makes a move, breaks a tackle, and able to make something out of nothing there as he gets it up to the 5-yard line. A nice run by Will Clark yet again.
Yeah, looked like, again, the backside. I mean, when you pull that backside tackle and guard, sometimes you got to start making that center block out to pick it up. You're going to see right here off the left defensive end. He reads the pull, comes down, does exactly what he's supposed to do, crashes down the line, almost makes one hell of a play to come from the backside and get that running back down behind the line of scrimmage. Clark makes a nice effort there to pick up some positive yardage.
2nd and goal, Judson under center again. He's going to go back to pass this time. This ball caught by Josh Rawlings. A very nice grab by Rawlings there. He came out of nowhere, dove for that one, makes the grab, and now we're in a 3rd and goal at about the 2.5-yard line. Hard to tell from our point.
I'd say that's about accurate. Too bad this wasn't just a little bit better of a throw. His arm actually looks like he got a little bit of contact there as he got rid of it. really nice effort there by that big, tall drink of water to lay himself out and make that catch.
Ball at the 2-yard line, 3rd and goal. Judson under center. Give up the middle to William Clark. He's into the end zone. Wolverines touchdown, 6 for William Clark on the 2-yard touchdown run.
It's awfully quiet on this side of the field here, Eric. This crowd was pretty into it about midway through the first quarter into the second quarter, and really since then the Wolverines have kind of stymied them a little bit. You know, the sideline over here looks a little bit stunned. You know, I'm not going to lie to you, I'm a little bit shocked at the way this third quarter and the beginning of the fourth quarter has gone for the Wolverines.
Big touchdown run by William Clark.
Very big extra point here.
Huge.
For the young man with the hideous shoes.
Chucky Hanchett, ready for the snap. Jaden Lucas gets it down very clean. That kick is up and good. Beautiful job by the Wolverines converting on the extra point. So with 10:19 remaining in the fourth quarter, your Woodland Hills Wolverines have just tied it up on the West Allegheny Indians 7-7. You're tuned into the Wolverines and the Indians on the Trib Live High School Sports Network and the Woodland Hills Football Network, presented by State Senator Jay Costa.
Life has its ups and downs. There are times when you or a loved one needs help. That's why you should know the name LGAR, Health and Rehabilitation Center. Located just minutes from the Monroeville Mall, the LGAR Health and Rehabilitation Center has been known by locals for many years, and they excel in reputation, rehabilitation, recuperation, and residential living. The help and answers you need are just a phone call away at 412-825-9000. Also on the web at lgar.org. LGAR Health and Rehabilitation Center, a name you should know and a name you can trust.
You're tuned in to Wolverine Football, presented by State Senator Jay Costa on the Woodland Hills Football Network.
Back in Imperial, Wolverines on the board after a huge 2-yard touchdown run by William Clark, able to drive all the way down the field, getting more guys involved. Josh Rawlings, Jaden Lucas, Jay Smith, William Clark, Anthony Meredith, all helping the Wolverines get into the end zone. Kick away by Chucky Hanchett, taken by Drayvon Baldwin. He has a big hole there. He's able to break it out to the right, and he's gone all the way to the house. Touchdown, West Allegheny. And after a huge drive by Woodland Hills, it's wiped out by the enormous kickoff return by Drayvon Baldwin. And not sure what happened there, Rick, if it was just great blocking by West Allegheny or if the Woodland Hills Wolverines were too pumped up and they just let him go fly right by him.
Yeah, there's not even many missed tackles here. Just, I think, well, pretty weak effort, stiff arm there on the kicker. Just nobody stayed in their lanes and just let that hole get wide open. Excellent return, really nice blocking by West. You got to give them credit. And they certainly got this crowd energized once again. The sideline looks like a completely different unit than we did before we went to that commercial break.
Kick up and good. 10:06 remaining in the fourth. West Allegheny answers quick with that kickoff return by former Wolverine Drayvon Baldwin. It's 14-7 West Allegheny. You're tuned into the Wolverines and the Indians on the Trib Live High School Sports Network and the Woodland Hills Football Network, presented by State Senator Jay Costa.
Bush Brothers Car Care Center in Swissvale has been a Monongahela Avenue institution for over 30 years. Bush Brothers is a full-service mechanic and tire shop for all types of vehicles. Whether you need mechanical work, an alignment, state inspection and emissions testing, new tires, or just an oil change, Bush Brothers is the place for you. Bush Brothers Car Care Center, Monongahela Avenue in Swissvale, or give Martin and Jason a call at 412-351-5342.
You're tuned in to Wolverine Football, presented by State Senator Jay Costa on the Woodland Hills Football Network.
Back here at West Allegheny, Wolverines let up a huge kickoff return by Drayvon Baldwin and now trail 14-7 after a huge deflating drive. West Allegheny just gets the magic back, takes it all the way for a touchdown. Again, the transfer from Woodland Hills, Drayvon Baldwin, for West Allegheny. 14-7 now.
How about a little tit for tat?
The squib kick, picked up by Anthony Meredith. He goes over the right side, stringing it out. A decent return for the Wolverines, still on his feet. And he's able to break off to the left, and that was close to
He was one tackle away from absolutely breaking that.
He certainly almost broke that, but The positive thing is the Wolverines have great starting field position.
And a little momentum there, you know, from that last series. This offense, I mean, that kickoff return sucks a little life out of you. But this offensive line wasn't really involved, so they're coming back out, still very confident about that last drive they were able to put together. I think they're kind of chomping at the bit to come out and do it again.
Anthony Meredith put on a fantastic stiff arm there by Kyle Guilfoyle. Looked reminiscent of the Vance McDonald
He's
Steelers
kind of beating that kid
stiff
up.
arm from Monday night. Wolverines on a false start there. It will be 1st and 15 now as the left tackle, Jeremy Thomas, just got a little bit eager there.
I was waiting for him to go into motion.
Looked like he was
He
back
popped up, and he looked like if he'd have gone in motion, he might have got away with it.
Jeremy Thomas on the jet sweep. 1st and 15 now for the Wolverines. They can't let that get to them. Now at their own 42, still with good field position. Judson in the shotgun. 4 receivers. Gets the shotgun snap. He's got time over the middle. He's got a man, Davion Rochelle, a little too high. Taken down there dangerously by the neck there.
That was targeting. That's the 3rd shot this game that the officials, I think, probably should have at least looked at the flag.
I'm surprised.
And they're not even considering it. I mean, I got to see this again a little closer, but
it was clearly overthrown. So
it was. No, this is in his hands.
We could have caught it, but I think he knew that he did.
He wrapped him up by the head.
Right. And it's just a dangerous tackle, but Wolverines stuck in a 2nd and 15 now on the incompletion from Judson to Rochelle. Man in motion is Jay Smith. Give to Will Clark. There is no running room, and that's a curious call there, as you've been pretty successful through the air and doing other things than that inside handoff, and that one puts the Wolverines back now on a 3rd and long. Just great penetration by the Indians.
Well, this play is designed to hit off that right side. They just couldn't get the seal. And again, when you're trying to hit that outside against this team, you got to get there fast. You can't wait for that backside tackle to get there to open it up, because they're crashing. They're following those blocks, and those guys are bigger and stronger, and they're getting there.
3rd and 19 now, ball on their own 38 of the Wolverines. Judson in the shotgun, back to pass. He's got time. That ball's going to be thrown low and incomplete. Had it been on the mark, you never know if Rawlings might have been able to break a tackle, but long throw for Judson to make there. Unable to connect, and the Wolverines will be forced to punt.
Yeah, I don't think we're getting the 1st down on a completion here, but it definitely changes field position a good bit, with this upcoming punt. And, he's got a little bit of pressure, but he's got time. He does not get his feet set. You can see there he gets his hips open a little bit too wide, doesn't get his foot moving in the right direction. And your accuracy goes out the window.
Hanchett takes a snap. A nice punt as Drayvon Baldwin was way too close. Ball dies, though. Doesn't take much of a Wolverines bounce. Will be down at the 22-yard line, and that's where West Allegheny will start their drive here in the 2nd half. This Wolverines defense has played fantastic pretty much all night, only surrendering that 1 touchdown on the 1st drive of the game. And now with 8:55 left, they got to come through big again, maybe get a turnover, something we really haven't seen much of tonight, if any turnovers. Honestly, I don't think there has been one, come to think of it.
No, I can't think of any turnovers, and this would be a very, very opportune time to catch one of those.
Wolverines now up against the Indians on a 1st and 10. Inside handoff, lots of running room up the middle there for Flatty. But the Wolverines don't let it go any further than it could have gone, but still a nice chunk of yardage there for Flatty. Creates a 2nd and a manageable, about 3.
Yeah, I think you're going to start seeing West Allegheny start to grind here. You're not going to see a lot of fancy anything. They're just going to line up, push forward, run that ball up the middle, try and grab 3 or 4 yards at a pop, and just wear this Wolverines defense down.
8:20 left in the game. 2nd and 3 now. Ball on their own 28 for West Allegheny. Wildcat. Flatty tries to do a spin move, and that's rarely going to work against the Wolverines defense as he tried to reverse his field, do a little spin move, and juke around, but nothing doing as the Wolverines get immediate penetration on the Wildcat play and take Flatty down. And here's a huge 3rd down because if you can stop this and get the ball back, you have plenty of time rather than letting them get a first down and drain more clock.
Yeah, really big play there. And it sets up an even bigger play here with 3rd and, what do we got, 7?
Looks like about 3rd and 7, Rick. So you're correct. Ball at the 25. First down marker at the 32. West Allegheny now 5 seconds on the play clock. They better hurry. 3, 2, and they get it off just in time. Ball thrown out. Van Damia makes a great catch, but an even better hit by Mike Coleman. The D1 Toledo recruit for the Wolverines makes a big tackle there. As you know, that ball almost was overthrown right into the hands of Mike Coleman, but he's able to focus, make, like you said earlier, he knows where the first down marker is, makes a nice tackle, wraps up, does not let him get any extra yardage, and now West Allegheny has to punt.
Yeah, I mean, that looks almost like a drill that Coach Sampson was setting up for him. It's exactly what you see him do in practice.
Ball at the 27-yard line. That was a gain of 2. West Allegheny, punt formation. Jaden Lucas to return. Snap a little low and a floater. Oh, Wolverines almost get in and block it, but it's a high punt. Bounces off an Indian. And will be down at the 45-yard line of West Allegheny. So yet again, more good starting field position for Woodland Hills. And, you know, this is the time where they have to take advantage of it. And, you know,
yeah, we're running out of opportunities here. And again, we have to keep saying it, but the penalty situation, this would be the worst time to see another procedural. You know, an aggressive penalty here, you know, something when you're holding, when you're trying to really struggling to make the block on the right where the hole is, those kind of penalties I get. It's the mental lapse and the not focusing and jumping off sides, not being lined up in the right position. Those are the penalties that really kill you.
Going to place the ball at the 47-yard line. So far this year, this has got to be the biggest drive of the senior quarterback Gavin Judson's Woodland Hills career to date, as they trail the Indians 14-7 with 6:40 remaining in the game. Judson in the shotgun. Give to Anthony Meredith on the inside handoff. Had some steam as he got that ball, but wasn't able to get much more than about 3 yards there, maybe just 2, depending on the spot here. We'll see. Looks like about 2.5 yards there for Anthony Meredith.
Yeah, again, he's always good at catching those 2-3 yards after first contact. He keeps those feet churning really well. Really strong kid. A lot of desire in that kid to get to that end zone with every time he touches the ball.
Pistol formation. Down here on the side, you see Josh Rawlings lined up against a cornerback who's much shorter than him. But they're going to give up the middle to Anthony Meredith, and that's going to be a loss of a couple yards. And as I was saying, Rick, West Allegheny has their defensive back, Paul Newton, who's 5'10", against Josh Rawlings, who's 6'6". You have a huge height advantage there. I don't know why the Wolverines won't try and take advantage of that. At least try a fade or something, put it where only he can catch it.
Yeah, and I think the only thing that would stop me maybe is that you could. I think on that play in particular, they had over-the-top coverage with the strong safety. But if that's the case, then you got a nice clear out and you got that 10-yard out that's wide open every time.
Right, exactly. So you got your option there. Judson takes a snap. He's going to look over the middle to Jaden Lucas. A nice grab by Jaden Lucas, knowing where the first down marker is, and that's going to be
close.
Certainly should be a first down after the stretch.
Well, I'll tell you, if he stretched and got that's a candidate for play of the game.
And they're going to put him short by a whole yard, and I don't quite understand that.
Is that official across the field that blind that he stepped to the wrong yard line?
I'm not quite sure.
That's pretty hard to believe.
And we didn't have the best view of where his feet were and if he stepped out of bounds or when his knee went down, but it really looked like he was able to stretch and get it, unfortunately. Wolverines have a key 4th and 1 here. Ball at the 38-yard line. 5:18 left. Anthony Meredith wanted that ball. He took it quick and definitely carried that over for a first down.
That was not how they drew that up.
Right, no. He was so eger to get that ball. He ran right into Gavin Judson, but he was able to get the ball and get over for first down.
No, he was not offside. He was that fast on the snap.
Right, it looked like he may have false started there, but he did not.
No, he was just that quick. He almost came up and took the snap, from the
just
center.
like the Wildcat. So 1st and 10 for the Wolverines. Ball on the 37. Now under 5 minutes to go in the game. Judson back to pass. Picked off by West Allegheny. Over the middle. A big play by the Indians. Judson tried to squeeze that in there, but it just wasn't there. And that's Kyle Guilfoyle of the West Allegheny Indians, I believe, who made that interception.
Yeah, we said it earlier. You know, we haven't seen a turnover yet, and that a big pick or a fumble recovery could be the play that kind of changes the flavor of the game.
If he'd have gone to Jay Smith, I think he had him open more than I think it was Jaden Lucas, who was the intended receiver.
Yeah.
Unfortunately, West Allegheny will take over after that interception. 4:49 left to go in the game. A 14-7 lead for West Allegheny. They will start this drive from their own 42. Wolverines have to be tight here on defense and get a stop. Hit immediately on the handoff.
And remember, we're down to, I believe, 1 timeout.
Right, just as you said, Rick. As could come back to hurt us, and they certainly have now as Wolverines are down 14-7. Clock rolling, now 4:30 left in the game.
So
no gain there for Flatty.
If you let them get a first down here, it's not looking too good for your chances.
Exactly, no 2-minute warning in high school, as we know. They gave him a gain of 1 on that. Misspoke, it said no gain.
Favorable spots here.
Man in motion, it's Guilfoyle. Cruz.
I can't believe they threw the ball.
Immediate pressure there from Chris Jones, and Cruz was able to get rid of that ball. Luckily, luckily he wasn't intercepted.
I can't believe they threw the ball.
Right, I would think they'd keep it on the ground.
To throw that quick out like that, that's a pick 6 if you don't get that down right.
Chris Jones had great penetration there, really rushed that pass. Falls incomplete, and the clock stops, which is big for the Wolverines at 4:05. So if you're going to get the stop, you got to get it right here. 3rd and 9, ball on their own 43 for West Allegheny. Crucial situation for both sides. In the shotgun, Cruz gets a snap, rolls out to his right. He's got a receiver, almost intercepted by the Wolverines, Jeffrey Williams, and he had that right in his hands. I think he maybe was thinking about running after. That's the only thing I can think, that because that was right in his hands. And had he caught that, you never know what can happen.
I think that ball got on top of him a little faster than he was anticipating. He just sees it at the last second, gets his hands up. I mean, that's over the head. Is not an easy catch with all those pads and everything on.
Certainly a tough catch to make, but the incompletion stops the clock again. Wolverines get the big stop. 4 minutes to go in the game exactly. West Allegheny in the punt formation on a 4th and 9. A high floater snap. He's able to get the kick away on the punt. Sidney Summers. Woo, that was very close to touching Sidney Summers. He did a little nice dance footwork there to get away from the ball. And now the ball rolls all the way down inside the 15-yard line.
Can you say his name again like that?
Sidney Summers.
Sidney Summers.
That was dangerously close to really probably being the end of the game there if that would have touched Sidney Summers, and West Allegheny would have been able to take the ball there and recover it. Woodland Hills now, the ball is down at the 12-yard line. With 3:48 to go, they will start this drive.
That came really close. The bouncer right into his hip.
Very close. Ball at the 12-yard line. The Wolverines have a long way to go here. 88 yards to get this game hopefully tied up. Judson in the shotgun. Brings Jaden Lucas in motion. Jaden Lucas gets the jet sweep. He's able to run across the right side, but cut back upfield for about a gain of 1 there for the Wolverines. Not much doing as they string him out. Clock rolling and not many timeouts. You got time here, but you got a long way to go. And I know that Judson just threw that interception, but I still think you got to try and go to the air
you got to
here.
go back to it. We're not driving the ball 80-some yards in 3 minutes, getting it at 2 yards a clip. And they're crowding the box. Got to open it up.
Judson rolls out, nowhere to go, and he is taken down. He's able to get back to the line of scrimmage there. So it'll be 3rd and 8. Clock now at 3 minutes to go.
And the offense is literally walking back to the huddle.
Yeah, there's not much hustle here.
Not at all.
Surprising to see that. When you're in a situation like this, you got to keep moving. You got to get back to the huddle and get back up to the line of scrimmage. With the clock rolling here, now under 2:45. Judson in the shotgun. He'll take the snap on this 3rd down. He's got some time, but now getting pressured. He's going to throw it deep. He's got Jaden Lucas there, who's able to make the catch for the Wolverines at the 45-yard line. A huge grab by Jaden Lucas keeps this drive alive, and now is when you need to see that hustle.
Now you got to get up to the ball, get up to the ball, get up to the ball.
Clock stops for the chains to move at 2:25, but now this is when you really got to move so you can get up to the line here, get this ball snapped, have the right play called, and keep the ball moving. And you got West Allegheny a little bit shocked here, I'm sure.
You want to be set up and ready to – they should be on the ball already, getting ready to make this – snap the ball with 20 seconds on the play clock.
Not much of a sense of urgency here. This is certainly when a no-huddle offense would be great for Woodland Hills, but I don't know if they have that in their arsenal. Judson gets a snap out to Jay Smith, overthrown and almost intercepted there by West Allegheny. The clock will stop. It'll be a 2nd and 10. Everybody able to catch their breath here with 2:04.
Sound like the ghost of Sidney Summers.
Doing it again? Yeah, that's going to come out sometimes.
Overthrown.
Certainly going to come out as that ball was thrown a little high. Jay Smith got his fingertips on it, but was unable to bring it in. Drayvon Baldwin with the huge kickoff return for West Allegheny almost was able to pull that in, which would have definitely ended the game for the Wolverines. But now another chance. 2nd and 10 for the Wolverines. Play clock at 10 seconds. Gavin Judson gets a snap. He's got a bunch to his right. He's got Jay Smith open across the middle. A nice grab by Jay Smith on a nice pass.
First down, stops the clock.
Another first down, indeed, stops the clock.
Good ball.
At 1:57, really yeah, another nice throw
by Gavin
Judson.
Had some nice zip on it, hit him right in the numbers. Well done.
See, I think this is the way the Wolverines just need to run their offense all the time. Certainly, I mean, you want to mix in the run, of course, with 2 talented running backs, but this stuff is effective right now.
And this helps your running backs. This, you know, the run feeds the pass.
Certainly.
The pass also feeds the run.
They open each other up, indeed. 1st and 10. Judson getting pressured. He's got to get rid of it. He throws it out of bounds. Good job by Gavin Judson there to get rid of the ball, avoid the sack, and the clock stops as well. 2nd and 10. Ball at the West Allegheny 43 with 1:33 seconds remaining.
Yeah, big decision there by Gavin. Got to get rid of that. Otherwise, like you said, he loses all that yardage and the clock's still running. You know, that's a matter of 10 yards and 30 seconds on the clock. It's a huge difference.
1:33 remaining. Wolverines trying to go 88 yards. They got the ball up to the 43 of West Allegheny. 2nd and 10. Play clock at 5. Judson gets the snap. Comes up in the pocket. He's got Mike Coleman open.
Oh, my.
Caught by Mike Coleman. No flags on the field. Touchdown, Woodland Hills.
Number 3, Michael Coleman.
What a find by Gavin Judson, stepping up in the pocket, avoiding the sack, and then Mike Coleman gets separation from the secondary, wide open in the middle of the field, and a beautiful pass and a beautiful catch.
Drops it right into him on stride.
Ends in 6 for the Wolverines, and another crucial extra point. Hanchett ready. Lucas ready for the snap. Snaps high. Jaden Lucas has to take it. He has an opening. He is taken down short of the goal line. And it looked like he might have been able to get in there for the Wolverines, but he comes up inches short on the high snap. And just a really, really tough break for the Wolverines as they now trail by 1 point with 1:25, and their last hope is an onside kick. Take again another look at this wonderful pass from Gavin Judson as he steps up in the pocket to Mike Coleman. A great catch.
I might be wrong, but I think that was a called play on the extra point there. That wasn't a high snap. That was snap to him getting up. Timmy, you know, Coach Boster was going for 2 there, trying to be aggressive on the road with not a lot of time on the clock.
If that's how it was, called, I like the call. I like going for 2.
I like the call. It's just, you know, an inch short. It's heartbreaking.
I didn't call that initially because I would be surprised to see that call. But if that's what it was, I like the attempt to go for 2 there. I like the fake, but Jaden Lucas falls just short. He looked like he had the opening, and instead of maybe trying to get the edge, it would have been tough. He tried to cut up, and he just fell inches short of the goal line. So the Wolverines now trail 14-13 with 1:25 left, and they have to have this onside kick, or else the Indians can kneel it. And I'm really kicking myself, Rick, for mentioning that game back in 2014 when the Wolverines couldn't convert on the extra point and ended up losing that game 42-41. And a little deja vu in a different way in terms of the score and it being still in regulation. Chucky Hanchett sets the ball. We'll see what they try here. They're not set up for a typical onside kick. Whistle, timeout by West Allegheny. Initially, they pointed the way of Woodland Hills, and I was going to say, woo!
Right.
I wouldn't call a timeout there and use your last one in that situation. But West Allegheny calls the timeout, so we'll step away really quick to take a quick breather here. It's 14-13 West Allegheny with 1:25 left in the game as Wolverines attempt an onside kick. You're tuned into the Wolverines and the Indians on the Trib Live High School Sports Network and the Woodland Hills Football Network, presented by State Senator Jay Costa.
Woodland Hills football is brought to you in part by the law offices of Owen Seaman. Owen is a Woodland Hills alumnus who studied law at Duquesne University and has been practicing law in the Pittsburgh area for over 15 years. Attorney Owen Seaman's experience encompasses virtually every facet of criminal defense. If you find yourself in need of criminal defense representation, call Owen at 412-721-0412 or visit owenthelawyer.com.
You're tuned in to Wolverine football, presented by State Senator Jay Costa on the Woodland Hills Football Network.
Back here at West Allegheny, the Wolverines set up for an onside kick. Down 14-13 with 1:25 in the game. Only one timeout. This is it for the Wolverines. Straight up in the air. Fair catch called for by West Allegheny and pulled in with 1:25 remaining. West Allegheny will start with the ball at about the 39-yard line, their own 39, and with one timeout for the Woodland Hills Wolverines. That should just about do it. Look at the replay. It was a nice thought there by the Wolverines, trying to get that ball up there, maybe get the speed down there to maybe beat them to the ball, but unable to. West Allegheny takes the snap and the kneel. And timeout taken by Coach Tim Bostard. Right thing to do, because even though you only have one left, I don't quite know if they can completely run the clock out here. It would be very close. They might have to run a play. You got to think with 25 seconds, it's different than the NFL when you have 40 seconds.
Yeah.
So if the Wolverines are able to get a couple stops, you never know. Have one chance at a punt block if they can get the stops here on second and third down. And, it's something that a smart coach like Bob Palco should know. I'm surprised he came out in victory formation there.
I wouldn't be surprised to see him do it again.
True. May take their chances. $120 remaining. West Allegheny offense back onto the field here. Second and 13, ball on their own 36-yard line. And you're right, Rick, they're back in victory formation. But I don't think they can completely run this clock. They're going to have to run around a little bit. And he does run around in the backfield, gets taken down. They got to set this ball a little bit faster and get the play clock started here.
As the clock will continue to run.
Okay, clock under 1:05 now. They're continuing to not start the play clock. Finally, they start the play clock. Took them forever to start that play clock there.
Just about enough to run the game out.
Yeah, they just on a third down and 19 now. probably do the same thing. West Allegheny as they're in victory formation again. And Mike Roman jumps offside. And, you know, if you're Woodland Hills, you have to just, you can't do that. You have to know what the situation is, and you just got to stay where you're at. You know what's coming.
Yeah, I'm not sure if he thought he could stop the clock by doing that.
And the clock's just going to restart, and this is going to be it then. So
yeah, they just gave him a new.
Yeah, instead of the Wolverines having one last chance, that's going to do it for the Wolverines here, as West Allegheny will be able to kneel this one and end this game here.
Yeah, we could have conceivably had a punt play.
Exactly. Could have had a chance to maybe get a bad snap or a blocked punt or a punt return. Probably wouldn't have kicked it to Woodland Hills. Probably would try to kick it out of bounds or something.
Yeah, but again, a bad snap, anything can happen.
He fumbles the snap, it looked like, but he was able to fall on it. And that will do it here in Imperial, Pennsylvania. A heartbreaking loss for the Wolverines. They fall 14-13 after a fantastic final drive there to get into the end zone on a great pass from Gavin Judson to Mike Coleman. But the two-point conversion attempt on the fake extra point, Jaden Lucas tried to string it out to the left and run it into the end zone for 2 points. He was unable as he was caught right at the goal line. And the Wolverines fall to the West Allegheny Indians in this Allegheny 8 conference matchup, 14-13. We're going to step away. When we come back, we will have post-game coverage. It's West Allegheny 14, Woodland Hills 13, the final here. You've been tuned in to the Wolverines and the Indians on the Trib Live High School Sports Network and the Woodland Hills Football Network, presented by State Senator Jay Costa.
ABOS Opticians on Braddock Avenue in Braddock is your one-stop optical shop. With hundreds of the latest frame styles and lenses, the skilled opticians at ABOS will help select and fit the best eyewear option for you. Plus, ABOS Opticians is the best eyewear repair facility in the area. No matter what your eyewear needs are, make ABOS Opticians your opticians. Call ABOS Opticians at 412-271-4424 or visit abosopticians.com.
Back at West Allegheny again, a tough, heartbreaking loss for the Wolverines, 14-13 as they fall to West Allegheny on that attempted two-point conversion there by Jaden Lucas. He tried to run it into the end zone after a big touchdown pass from Gavin Judson to Mike Coleman. And, you know, Rick, it was very, very hard fought. Defensive struggle all game. The offense looked fantastic in the second half, in my opinion. They really played well, able to get those 2 touchdowns, but just falling short in the end.
Yeah, the defense as well, you know, second half. Obviously, the offense playing as well as they did allowed them to stay off the field a little more than they did in the first. But defense held their own and came up with some really, really big plays when they had to get the offense back on the field. I like to see the Wolverines offense kind of open it up there a little bit. We saw, coming out in the third quarter, a little more of a spread offense, getting things going to the outside, throwing the ball a little more, trying to hit some deeper patterns, hitting some things going through the middle, and I think it had a pretty good effect.
Absolutely, Rick. And I think with player of the game tonight, when we look at our superlatives here, I think we have to go with, in my opinion, a guy like Gavin Judson. He's been playing so hard this entire year. He hasn't had much time, of course, behind an inexperienced offensive line, but he did a great job tonight to bring this team back into the game. It was a full team effort, surely, but I think Judson was the catalyst behind that at the quarterback position.
Yeah, I don't think I'd argue against that, and I think probably he's a candidate for the play of the game, too, with that touchdown pass that unfortunately came up short of tying the game there towards the end, but that was really good field presence. Again, it's something we've said all night. Knew where that line of scrimmage was, knew he couldn't step past it, was able to evade some pressure, see the man open downfield, and put a nice little feather touch pass right onto his lap.
Yeah, that's exactly what I was going to say, Rick, for the play of the game was that touchdown from Gavin Judson to Mike Coleman. Big play across the middle. They had the opening. They got it. Ended up in 6 points for the Wolverines, brought them very, very close again. Definitely the play of the game, in my opinion. And I think, you could go with anything in the second half for the defensive stand of the game. I think that play maybe by Jeffrey Williams at the end to keep them almost on the interception to keep them from keep continuing that drive, I think maybe could be the defensive stand of the game.
I'd probably agree with that.
Yeah, it was a great play by the Wolverines defense all around. Only gave up 1 touchdown tonight. Prior 2 games, no touchdowns given up, no points given up by the Wolverines defense. Tonight, only 1 touchdown. Just a great game played all around by the Wolverines. I think especially the offense in the second half brought them back into it, but they fall short 14-13. Rick, next week the Wolverines will be back at home against Kiski for a non-conference matchup. So able to get a breath there from this conference play and regain some momentum and some confidence against Kiski, who's a good team this year. They've had, I think, 3-2 on the year. So we'll see what the Wolverines can do next week. And anything else you want to throw in here tonight, Rick?
No, I think the takeaway tonight is both sides of the ball played really, really well tonight. Still too many penalties and too many of the mental error penalties, the ones that really will drive you nuts. But all in all, they did do a better job of not making quite as many of those mistakes. A few of them cost them pretty big. And again, it came down to a matter of 2 inches away from winning this game versus being down a point at the end. So a lot of positive things to build on for this Woodland Hills team.
Another classic here at West Allegheny did not fall the Wolverines' way, but they still have time. 1-4 in the conference now, but they have winnable games absolutely where they can get their way into the playoffs. And then when you get in the playoffs, you never know what can happen. Again, the Wolverines fall to the West Allegheny Indians 14-13 here tonight. Next week, Kiski back at home at the Wolverina. Thank you for tuning in to the whole crew. Rick, my partner, Lee Schaefer Jr., Lee Schaefer III, Joe Slick, Director Larry George. Thank you, everybody. Everybody's been a great help. And again, you've been tuned into the Wolverines and the Indians on the Trib Live High School Sports Network and the Woodland Hills Football Network, presented by State Senator Jay Costa.
Today's broadcast of Wolverine football was presented by State Senator Jay Costa on the Woodland Hills Football Network and the Trib Live High School Sports Network. Wolverine football is also brought to you by the Triangle Barn Grill, Patrick T. Lanigan Funeral Home, LGAR Health and Rehabilitation Center, the law offices of Owen Seaman, Bush Brothers Car Care, the Barbers Inn in Swissvale, LG3 Entertainment, Web Landings, A-Boss Opticians, Matthews Auto Service, and DeZubin Dental Associates. This broadcast has been a presentation of A.W. Gusky Productions and LG3 Entertainment. Copyright 2018.